Hello and welcome everybody to Charlotte Motor Speedway. We are at the season finale for the Zero Torque Racing League here at Charlotte. Tonight is a 200 lap event, 2 stage breaks. And right now we're in the midst of qualifying, a heat for the pole, and every driver out right now is trying to search for that fast time to put them in the best position for tonight's race. Currently watching Robert Tester. Came into this race tied for 4th in points. He's not one we're probably going to talk a lot about tonight unless he's going to go to victory lane. Not on the worry on the cut line whatsoever. As Robbie rails it off into turn 1 right there. Running the top middle of the racetrack. What can this 22 car do? He's been very good here in qualifying so far this season. Robert Tester. Top of the board so far. 4 cars have qualified. Hewlett is P2. Ted Gamble Jr. is 3rd. Frank Chavez in 4th. Chris Gaskell slots into 5th so far. 5 cars have ran. There goes Kuhn into 5th. Demotes the 0-1. Here comes Robert Tester though. Can he improve on his lap with the tires more warmed up? Or is the first lap the lap you have to hit on? It looks like it got improved upon by Robbie, so not bad at all. Blake Hewlett still sits P2. Watching Wesley Briggs on his 2nd lap. He sits 6th right now. The 81 Chevrolet. Wesley sits 22nd in the standings. There is no points tonight. He's racing for one thing, and that is a checkered flag. Can he improve? He does, up to P4. Brian Matthews is currently 12th, but man, he is someone we'll be watching tonight. First man out on the playoffs, 3 points out behind Blake Hewlett, who is currently P2. Brian Matthews only improves to P9. Not a great qualifying effort for the 28 machine. Here comes Ron Millam in the 47. I believe Ron does not have enough starts to qualify for the postseason. But either way, he's going to be looking for a checkered flag tonight. 13th so far. Not what he was looking for. Jeff Lorway. P4. What a lap from the 71 machine. Here comes Jim Treat in the 367 machine. For Premier Setups. Oh, got really close to the outside wall. Youngblood up to P2. And that 16 machine. The points leader. Through turns 3 and 4. Here comes Jim Treat to the line. What will his lap be? As Akari Wright goes P2. Treat goes 6th. Carson Youngblood, though, he is on a heater in the 16 Me machine. Off of corner number 4. What can the 16 do? Does not improve. The final half of the lap was not that good. Can Akari Wright improve? No, he is stopped on the racetrack. Jim Treat through 3 and 4. Oh, hard to the outside wall. Hard overcorrection for Treat. Qualifying is at an end. Looked like he was on an improvement. We will not see that lap be finished. And P6 is the best that it's going to get for Jim Treat tonight. Hard crash in qualifying. That thing just snapped on him. And that should be a wrap for qualifying. So we have 16 cars that have qualified. A good amount have not. David Sharon, Dustin Rogerson, Dean Howard, Eric Johnson, Jason Steptoe, and Terry Litwiller. So 6 drivers have not posted a qualifying lap this evening so far. That battle at the cut line is what we're going to be watching oh so close tonight. Mark Kazin out of it actually with how low he is in the point. Or Mark Kazin is not eligible for the playoffs, I don't believe, because of so few starts. He has only 4 starts this year. Not Ron, excuse me. So I don't believe Mark is eligible for playoffs because of said lack of starts. And here's Dustin Rogerson, P2 in the point standings on the racetrack later in the session. 16 cars have finished their lap. He is the lone man out on the track right now. He'll start his flying lap down the front straightaway. Rogerson looking to be competitive tonight. It's going to be an uphill battle, though, to catch Carson Youngblood tonight. 21 points back. But if Carson does have an issue, and if he can rack up the stage points, Ken Dustin, I could 100% see it. We do have 2 stages tonight, I believe. So there is a lot of points on the line, not only for playoffs. Oh, and that's in the fence. That lap's not going to count. Lap is invalid. We'll see him go through these corners here. Through turns 1 and 2. Close to the wall again off exit. Rogerson's pushing. Not as good through 1 and 2 as he was on his first attempt. We'll see how he is in 3 and 4. If he can keep it off the fence, at least put a lap down. Qualify ahead of a few guys. He'll get it off turn 4 nice and neatly. What can the 23 do? And he will slot in P7. Not the worst qualifying error. Here comes Eric Johnson in the 18 Toyota Camry. Been very good this year, and his first lap's good enough for 7th and demotes the 23 another spot. Jason Steptoe on the racetrack. He's coming off the racetrack right now. Eric Johnson down the backstretch. What can he do in his second lap? Can it be an improvement? And can he put himself into the top 5? Long race tonight. 200 laps. A starting position, though, of a good way with the new aero package is not going to hurt. Johnson does not improve his position. And now we're going to watch Jason Steptoe in the number 50 machine. Excuse me. Oh, my. Sneeze is catching up with me with this this odd weather we keep having here in the Midwest. Jason Steptoe is going to get real close to the wall there, but keeps it off. He will slot in only P16, not the lap he was looking for. I'm not sure why he's so far down. Maybe a bit of a middle lane run there. Ooh, very tight to the wall there. Almost touched it. Doesn't look like he did. Wrapping the paint there to the best of his ability. Going to slide up a little bit here off exit. Up to the top lane using all the racetrack. What can Jason Steptoe do this time by the second lap? P9. Solid top 10 qualifying run. 3/10 off the race leader or the pole sitter, Robert Tester. So right now, only 3 cars have not gone. David Sharon, Dean Howard, and Terry Litwiller. There's Jason Steptoe pulling his car down to pit road. We're getting ready to wrap up qualifying here tonight. All these cars have gone. Gotta thank the great sponsors here at the Zero Torque Racing League. Tom Stacy Taters, Bald Eagle Station, Premium Car Content, 2430 Esports, Sky Motorsports, W Energy. Use code SQ187 for 10% off your order. The Zero Torque Racing League sponsors and partners like Luminary Concept help make this series run smooth like butter. Thank you all for our partners and friends at all these companies and businesses and fellow creators, fellow racers as well with the 2430 Esports team. Thank you to all these guys who come out here and support this not only the stream but this whole entire league. W Energy being a new partner with myself. Go use SQ capital S capital Q 187 for 10% off your order. Help myself and yourself with some of the best energy drinks around. So we're waiting to get this up and running, to see this race get under green. I'm excited for it. Always good, always fun to race at Charlotte Motor Speedway for the Coca-Cola 300. And here we go, folks. Qualifying's wrapped up. We are gridding. Cars on the grid. There is Robert Tester, your pole sitter for tonight. .200 laps with 2 stages. First stage is at lap 50. Second stage, 120. So 20 points maximum just for stages tonight. A very big, very different approach than we usually see of just the 10 max stage points. You can get a lot tonight, even just finishing the top 10 in both stages. We do have 22 cars tonight in this field. And my, oh my, this is going to be a good one tonight, folks. We love hearing the race cars, and on pit road, you're going to watch the view from Robbie Tester as he is looking for a victory tonight, but he has last week's winner, Kari, right on his outside. Carson Youngblood, the points leader. He's looked a little off as of late, but would love to get back in the victory lane to set himself up for a great playoff run. Blake Hewlett, P4. This is what he needs to do. He's right on top of that cut line. The last man in, 3 points above Brian Matthews and Terry Litwiller, not too far in the waiting in the wings. So you have to be patient here. Terry Litwiller, I believe, about 20 or so back. So it's very tight at the cut line. Ted Gamble Jr., he is in a must-win, but don't doubt this 45 car. He can get it done tonight. The speed has been there a lot of the 45. The execution or the luck, however, has not. Jim Treat, however, he looks comfortable on the playoff cut line, but a victory tonight always eases your mind. Eric Johnson will start from the pit lane. 8th place, excuse me. Dustin Rogerson looking to take the points lead. Jason Steptoe as well will be promoted a row, but he is well within the playoffs. No worries for him. Just looking for a victory tonight. Jeff Lorway, another one right on the bubble. This 71 Ford Mustang is going to have a lot of work cut out for him tonight. He may not be the last one in, but he's not very safe. Frank Chavez is 1 point ahead of him, and 2 points ahead of him is David Sharon. So you beat those two tonight, and you're pretty well set. If you're that 71 car, get yourself up to 9th or 10th in the standings. Sits 11th currently as we start this race. That would put him in a comfortable spot where a new winner tonight, like baby Blake Hewlett, who qualified 4th, would not upset this 71 car of Lorway. But enough talk, enough speculation. Robert Tester, Akari Wright, Blake Hewlett, and Carson Youngblood are going to battle tonight. 200 laps at Charlotte. Stage break at lap 50 and 120. A long one tonight in the Zero Torque Racing League. And my oh my, are we ready for it? Let's bring the action to Charlotte. The last chance to make the cut line, to make the playoffs. Green flag in the air at Charlotte. Tester leads him in route. Oh, we have a spin already. Carson Youngblood has spun in front of the field. Oh no. Carson Youngblood, your points leader, spins in front of the field going to green. I was not expecting that. Hard to get the replay. Oh my God. Carson Youngblood spun the tires hard, hitting the gas. He's up the 22's bumper and just right into Blake Hewlett right on the cut line. Oh, Brian Matthews involved. Another driver, first car out, looking to get in. Hopefully the damage for him is not too severe. Thankfully tonight, the longest race of the season. I'm just not sure what happened there. I have to take a look from it in the driver view. He gets a good roll here. He has good momentum. Just stomps on it. Too hard. Good thing he kept it there to the outside wall. Oh. And Brian Matthews just maybe not seeing him. We're going to have to take a view here from Brian. As we go green. And he can't see the spinning 16 in front of him. He just sees a checkup, sees a bunch of smokes, and here's the 16 right in his lap for Brian Matthews. But, I mean, when you qualify 16th, you're back in the hornet's nest if stuff like that happens. Eric Johnson's happy. He was not. He started from the pit lane tonight. My, oh my, but this is big because now Dustin Rogerson, as I say that, Dustin Rogerson comes down pit road. This is all over the place. I'm very confused. So why is Drew Kuhn? So Drew Kuhn is a lap down, going to get the wave around. Brian Matthews still on pit road. So Eric Johnson is our race leader. From starting in the pit lane, because the yellow came out so fast, Eric Johnson has been promoted to the race lead. I don't see how that is exactly fair. But, I mean, it worked out in his favor. It's not his fault that they just wreck coming to the green flag, lap 1, not even entering turn 1 yet. See some cars hopping off on fuel or repairing damage. And in some case, I hope for Blake's sake that he is not too badly hurt in that 87 car, excuse me. I mean, such a good qualifying effort in the Ghost Energy machine. And, I mean, that is just horrid luck. And not only did he possibly get damaged, he lost some track position. He was from 4th to 6th. So maybe the intensity, the pressure, getting to Carson Youngblood. I mean, an easy points lead, starting good. As Eric Johnson will relinquish the race lead back to Robert Tester. Drew Kuhn, I believe, will get the wave around. Not sure how he's a lap down. Brian Matthews, oh, goes 1 lap down. That is just horrible for Brian, and I feel for him. I mean, nothing he does wrong, and the 28 gets totaled from a mistake that just shouldn't be happening on lap 1, and I feel for the 28 car. But that's a part of racing, and you're a points leader. He makes mistakes just like anyone else tonight, so just part of it. Can't hate him. Can't be mad. Or you can't be mad. I'm sure he is mad. But that's just a part of it. And the 16 obviously didn't mean to do that. I mean, it's easy to do. These cars do have a lot of power, but that is going to shake up this field already. There's one, not even a lap in, a few hundred feet into this race. As the front row stays the same, Robert Tester and Akari Wright are going to actually lead us back to green flag racing. See if Brian Matthews, he is still on pit road. Daniel Jackson just now coming off pit road. He will not catch the field before we go back green here. He might not get off pit road. Second time is the charm, as they say. Lap 0.02%. We saw a caution. Can we make it more, maybe to the first turn this time? This one's for 200 at Charlotte. First restart of the race. Green flag in the air. This one's a little bit cleaner than the start. Tester with a clean launch and getaway. Akari Wright slots it in P2. Here comes Ted Gamble Jr. up to P3. Blake Hewlett looking for 5th on Wesley Briggs, but Wesley Briggs ripping the top off of corner number 2. Into the fence goes Jason Steptoe. Under pressure from the 81 car of Riggs. And to the inside goes Riggs. Into the apron a little bit. Clear on the 50 car. Good restart. Here comes Jeff Lorway trying to get up to Blake Hewlett. Craig Bridge Jr. The speed from this 3 car has been very good this year. The luck, however, has been abysmal. He needs a win tonight, along with the 2 behind him of Chris Gaskell and Austin Norris, if they're going to make the postseason. Here comes Ron Millam, passing the 01. It shows on my monitor that Chris is actually from Great Britain, so we have an international driver in our race. Just didn't know it. That's very cool. Here's David Sharon, a man who sits pretty good entering the playoffs here as Craig Bridge Jr. Looking like he had some issues. Looking like he lost some track position here. Look further back in the pack here, battling for the 10th spot. Whoa, and the 01 car had to really miss the 3 as he got up into the fence, into the outside wall, maybe into the, not really marbles on the racetrack right now. It's very clean, so not sure what's going on with the 3 car there. Looks to be very tight, does that 3 car. A little bit of right front damage, that might be why. Look further up at the lead, and there is Robert Tester out front. Akari Wright right in his heels, kind of just tracking him down, not letting him get too far out in front. Oh, into the fence a little bit. Ted Gamble Jr. slots in third. Good run for him tonight. 2 seconds back all the way to back to fourth of Wesley Briggs. There's Blake Hewlett in fifth, running the top here. Jeff Lorway looking to get around him. Knows that's a car behind him in the point standings. He wants everyone behind him in the point standings to be behind him today. And look who's coming up to the front. Austin Norris up 7 spots from lap 1. I mean, part of it would be the lap 1 caution, but part of it is he is driving through the field. He goes bottom 3, now bottom of 2. To the inside of Jeff Lorway. Sends it off into corner number 3. He might get him here. Good move. 57 car coming to the front. He might get to the inside of the 87 of Blake Hewlett. He does. Great corner there. Wow. He just stuck it in there and it just gripped up. And here he's going to clear the 87 off of corner number 2. Clear up. What a move. And the 4 car getting a little spicy back here at the 50 of Jason Steptoe. Clear up goes David Sharon for P9. Into the stage point. Here comes Carson Youngblood. Drive back through the field if I've ever seen it. Back into the top 10 goes the 16. As Brian Matthews sits down pit road still. Such a heartbreaker for Brian. I feel so bad for that 28 machine. Further back we see Terry Litwiller. Drew Kuhn. It's 19th. Dustin Rogerson. I'm not sure if he's just saving tires a lot or what. He sits 18th. He's knock on forward since he came down pit road. Eric Johnson, neither as well. He might just be saving tires heavy. We're seeing a lot of battling in and around the top 10. Outside the top 10 is Ron Millam up to 7th. Blake Hewlett starting to bleed positions here in lap 12 into this run. Youngblood's going to look to the outside of the 4 car as the 4 car looks to the inside of Blake. Sharon's going to wrap the bottom here. The bottom is probably the preferred line. But you can make the top work without a doubt. I mean, both lines are very viable here. It's a very multi-groove racetrack, but the dirty air is what you're going to want to look at after the aero update. And that 4 car is clear off of corner number 2. This 4 car looks very sporty right now. I mean, it's early. He might just be pushing some other guys at the same time, but he looks very, very good. If you have to ask me, here comes the 16 who slotted in on 3rd, so see how he races here at the 16 as they're side by side in front of him with the 47 and the 71 for 6th. Ron Millam looking for 6 on Lorway. Big run for David Sharon off of 4. Oh my. He got right to the back bumper quick. 16 is going to go up the racetrack. Got a little tight there. Whoa, Wesley Briggs into the fence. Briggs slow down the back stretch. I believe he was running 5th. Well, now he's back all the way to 11th. One mistake, one corner. Austin Norris up 10 spots into the top 5. David Sharon is on a driver right now. He is coming through the field. Long race. You might see these guys start to calm down a little bit. Realizing that we might not have to get so crazy so early. Long race tonight. Going to be a long one. Longest of the season without a doubt. We see Jim Treat looking to the inside of Blake Hewlett. Blake Hewlett started up in 4th. Needs the stage points. I still think Blake must think he has to beat those other guys. Chavez is running 15th, thankfully for him. But he needs to gain a lot of points on Frank Chavez. It's not just a few like Brian Matthews was. 3 back as here comes Craig Bridge Jr. The 01 of Chris Gaskell. 13th, 14th. That's your battle. 12th right ahead of them. We have a gaggle of race cars here. Jason Steptoe looking to the inside of Wesley Briggs. He'll get there. Wesley Briggs was inside the top 5, had that issue and trying to get back to the front, but might have used up some tire from that. Oh, in the fence again. Yeah, the 50 car kind of came up, took the air away a little bit. Here comes the 3 to the inside of Chris Gaskell. 81 wrapping the fence as well. Looks like that car is really tight. Maybe has used up a lot of tires. He gets a massive run off of corner number 4. Gonna clear this 50 car. The 01 might follow him. Big run. He's continuing to come. If you can wrap the top, I mean, it does work. You wrap the wall really well. The 01 looking for clean air, running the middle of the racetrack. Great battles all and up and down the grid as Carson Youngblood back into the top 5 and looking for 4th on Austin Norris. What a drive. I mean, I thought this car was Dunsky after that. I mean, sadly for Brian Matthews, who is back on the racetrack. Good for Brian. Get back out there, but he is a lot of laps down, unfortunately for him. He's going to have to hope that his competitor of Blake Hewlett, and we don't see a new winner, that's going to have to hope for him to crash out tonight and just gain a few points on him to point his way in. Sucks when you have to hope for something like that to make your way into the postseason, but that sometimes is just how the cookie crumbles, folks. Carson Youngblood, our top 3, are well away of Carson right now, about 4 seconds. About 4 seconds to gamble the Youngblood, so it's a bit of a gap as he starts to pull on the 57 of Austin Norris, who's having a great night, I must add, so far. I mean, he's up 9 spots now, but a top 5 night for this 57 car. Even if he doesn't make the postseason, a night like this it's something that really just gives you momentum and gives you a morale boost. It's something where you can have a horrible season and then you have that big run and you feel like you can come up here and fight for victories. You can come up here and be one of the best in this series. You just have to execute. Right now, the 57 is doing a great job. P5 looking good. Look behind him. It is a battle. Whoa, some contact. Ron Millam and Jim Treat in the corner as David Sharon clears both of them. Saw them racing pretty hard behind the 57 there, but oh my, I might have missed something. As the 47 starting to slide back a little bit, might have used a bit too much tire, might have to go back into tire saving mode. Jeff Lorway in 9th, right behind him, maybe looking to get back by the 47 who passed him early in the run. Further back of those cars are kind of saving. Whoa, we have a gaggle of race cars back here. Kuhn, Rogerson, Johnson, maybe some guys who saved tires heavy, some guys who did not save those tires. Like maybe Blake Hewlett in the 13th position. Really, so excuse me, that was a wrong button click there. I mean, look at this absolute gaggle of race cars down the back straightaway. And there's cars everywhere. As Rogerson looks to the inside of Blake Hewlett. Blake Hewlett is now a car that cannot run the bottom. He has hurt those tires way too much, or the damage from that lap 1 incident has made it where this 87 car cannot run the bottom. And when you cannot run the bottom of the racetrack because your car is not handling, you have a big problem. The 87 is going to need a caution to, 1, fix the damage if he has it. If he doesn't have the damage, he's got to find a better way to save some tire here in this next fuel run. Chris Gaskell got a little tight behind the 12 car. Oh, that's tight off of corner number 4. Still working his way to the inside of the 87, so Blake Hewlett really struggling right now. 01. Continuing to struggle mid-corner. Seems like he drifts up the racetrack. His Jim Treat just passed Austin Norris for P5. And David Sharon's in the party. Big run from Sharon. He'll get to the outside of Austin Norris for 6th place, trying to follow Treat tonight. Good race for Sharon. This is what I need to do. Go up here, and if you can't finish well tonight, say the 4 has issues later, go get some stage points. In 25 laps, we will reward stage points. If he gets 6, that's 5 points that he has in the bucket, wreck out or not, right? So that could be the difference. I mean, that really could be the difference of making the playoffs and not. So I think this is a great call. If you're the 4 car to go really hard, this first stage especially, and get yourself some stage points. Running a great race right now in P6. Top 2, however, are just absolutely gone. They are about 2 seconds clear of Ted Gamble Jr., who is now 6 seconds clear of Youngblood. I'm not sure if Youngblood just used the tire up big time. And we look at Carson. As Jim Treats ran him down, I think 16 might have used a lot of tire up getting through the field there. Wasn't extremely patient about it, no doubt. He was pretty aggressive, so I think that might be the storyline we're looking at the 16 car. I mean, he is 9 seconds off the race lead. And he was only like 6 once he cleared traffic. So that's going to be my opinion. I don't think he is a 9 seconds off the pace of the leader car. Jim Treat as well. I mean, he's up 1 spot from where he started this race, however. Seemed like he kind of was really saving tire early in the run. Maybe a bit too much. Got swallowed up in traffic. You got to still have good restarts. Can't lose too much track position, especially with this new aero model. We look at the battle for 5th. Not really a battle, just kind of working on each other, but Treat might have a run off of corner number 2. Down the back straightaway. He'll pull up to the 16. He won't get there. We'll see if the 16 lets him by. Knows maybe this isn't the time to fight this. Ooh, he's in the wall a little bit. He'll get to the outside and clear down the front straightaway. Not even a fight. Good move from him. David Sharon in 6th. Norris right behind him. Lorway in the 8th spot. Ron Millam, I believe he just passed Ron Millam, so good job from him. Dustin Rogerson and Eric Johnson starting to climb back through the front to the front. But man, he better hope that these tires, the tire saving he did, it was heavy. I'll give him that. He definitely saved the tire. But did he save it too much? Does he have enough tire to go run down Carson Youngblood, who's 4 seconds up the road, a little under 4 seconds, and go beat him in the stage after he wrecks on lap 1? That's going to be the question tonight. A lot of questions that need to be answered in terms of points, what everyone's thinking. Everyone has a different agenda tonight. Some guys we need to win. There's no other option tonight as we look at Blake Hewlett. He sits 21st. This car qualified in the top 5 and 4th. I'm assuming there's some damage to this 87. Or there needs to be something changed in the long run. Need to maybe back her down early in the run because this is not sustainable for the 87 tonight. As we see Wesley Briggs coming to pit road. One of the first ones to come down. He wants to gain some spots before we see this green flag pit cycle really get going. As there's Robert Tester to put him a lap down pretty quickly after coming to pit road. Being about 19 seconds off the race lead will do that to you. But these top 2. Akari Wright starting to run down that race leader. We saw most of this run. We've seen 8/10, 7/10 of a second lead. It's down to 6. We'll see if that changes at all as the number 1 wraps the outside of the racetrack. The 22 wrapping the bottom. Trying to find some clean air, and it worked. Starting to gain on him here. We might have a battle for the race lead in our hands here soon. We see a lap car right in front of him there. Brian Matthews, that is. I don't think Brian will fight too hard on either of them. He is on much fresher tires, though, so kind of surprised he's even, getting ran down by these guys with how much fresher. He should have like 10 lap fresher tires. He is a good amount of laps down. This one car is really starting to track in the right direction. I like how this one's looking on the long run. Taking some notes. Akari Wright said he wants to be really good in the long run tonight. I want to talk to him earlier tonight. And he is on the back bumper, the 22 of Tester, as we get late into this run. Dirty Air will hurt him off exit, but the 22 about hits the outside fence. Ryan Matthews is going to kind of halt this battle for the race lead as his Dirty Air is going to affect kind of both of these guys. Maybe affecting the number 1 a little bit more. Ooh, that's his teammate. So, I mean, it looks like it didn't really hurt him. It actually looked like it helped the number 1 cars. He's in the fence a little bit. Ooh, kept his foot in it. Looks like he'll be okay. Good run off exit, however. Starting to run back down this 22 car for the race lead. Down to a 10th of a second. Just a car length in between the 2 entering turn 1. Battle for the race lead inside the 1. Can't get there. Looking for a stage win. Oh, Tester goes to the bottom. The 1 goes to the top. Gets the clean air. Will he get the momentum off? He has momentum, but it is enough to really get there with how he was last lap. I don't think so. A little further behind than he was the lap prior. And there's the 22. Runs the middle of the racetrack trying to take the airway. Now he's back to the bottom. The one wrapping right above him, just a seam above. Had a really good corner in 1 and 2. Now he has to just set up turns 3 and 4 good. Dives it off in there, entering turn. Oh, and he puts the bumper to the back of Robert Tester. Bump and run for the race lead on lap 38. It's a little early for that. Oh my. That's a little early for that. And he's going to give back the race lead, and Robert Tester is not happy. About got wrecked for the race lead, and they're losing a good amount of time to both the cars, all the cars behind them. Class act, though, from Akari right there to give back the race lead after taking it. And there comes Robert Tester down pit road. All that was for naught. Chaos, and if I'm the one car, it's pit right now because we're going to, unless you can make it to the end, which I don't believe any of these cars can make it to the end here, they're going to have to pit soon anyways. You do not want to give up too much time to maybe Ted Gamble Jr. jumping you on pit road with an early pit cycle. Not the only car that has a feasible shot at doing so. One car's going to stay out another lap here, it looks like. In the gas. That contact caught me off guard, ladies and gentlemen. I was not expecting the bump and run so early on in this race and almost wrecked the 22. I thought it was lights out for him. Thankfully, it was all for naught, but wow, close call there. And right now, if caution comes out, Robert Tester is a lap down. He's just now coming off pit road, so he does not want to see a yellow. The one's still out there now with 9 laps to go in the stage. Blake Hewlett has seen his way to the service of his crew tonight for the first time. Really struggling here is Blake in the last run, in the second half of this run. Really good in the first half. He just needs to find the mojo in the second half. Drew Kuhn has entered the top 5. He's driven through the field. He was a lap down at one point, or almost a lap down. And he is running down Carson Youngblood for P4. And Rogerson is about 3-4 seconds behind this battle. I do not think the tire saving in the 23 car. I mean, now here's the thing. Does he have enough gas to make it all the way? It looks like Akari Wright's going to have to come down pit road this time. He's on the middle of the racetrack down the backstretch. Calling for pit road is the one car. Going to go a few laps longer than the 22, so...
All right, man.
Oh, caution is out. Caution's out on the racetrack. It is for Chris Gaskell under green flag cycle. And we see a caution, and that just royally screws Robert Tester. See the cause of the yellow. Racing the 69 here of Terry Litwell. Ooh, a little contact. And a harmless spin. Ooh, back at the racetrack. Oh, we see some crashing. That's Frank Chavez in it. A guy on the bubble involved in the crash. So let's look at it from this point of view. Looks like the 01 just kind of chops his nose in the 69. 69 not mean to do that. Gets into him. And it looks like the guys back here just don't. Like Craig Bridge Jr. is on the gas. The 51 is slowed down. That is that's a pretty bad look. That's a pretty bad look. I get what the oh, this is not a great view. The cockpit view here. This is oh my god. Yeah, that's some ARCA brakes. You just need to check up there. Not sure. I mean, there's plenty of time to get all the way back here. He's about half a straightaway back. He sees this happen. I'm just all the time in the world to react. Not sure if he was maybe just focused on the spinning 01 of Chris Gaskell, who he got out of this with no damage. And the 69 of Terry Litwell was like, I don't think I did anything wrong. Seems like some hard racing there. Hopefully no one has race-ending damage, but my oh my. Blake Hewlett down pit road as well. That really hurt Blake Hewlett. Just came down pit road. As we don't see Frank Chavez on the racetrack. Oh no. I believe. Oh, maybe not. I don't believe Frank Chavez is on the racetrack. he might be done and out of this race. Craig Bridge Jr. is still out there running somehow. That car looks like a completely different race car. It looks like a modified or something. It looks very odd. Chris Gaskell just went for a little slide. He's okay. You know, he's like, I'm not sure what those guys are doing. 51 of Daniel Jackson's probably wondering what the hell just happened. I just got absolutely rammed in the rear end. Checked it up for a wreck, did everything right, and just gets hit by the 3 car. And I'm assuming the caution was out too once the 01 spun. I'm not sure when it exactly came out, but it's an odd situation there. As here comes Robert Tester. Bad timing for the yellow for him. He might just take tires here and fuel, because why not? There's Daniel Jackson, Dean Howard right here. Craig Bridge Jr. further back. He is a lap down now after that. After the incident, we won't comment on it too much more. As Frank Chavez is out of this race, that could be huge for Brian Matthews, but he is obviously stuck a number of laps down. But this is big. I mean, that's a playoff bubble guy. And Carson Youngblood, after wrecking, coming to the green on lap 1, is now your race leader on lap 46, but he was really struggling at the end of that run. So my question is, 1, can he hold off the fresh tires of Akari Wright and David Sharon and Ted Gamble Jr.? And 2, can he even hold off the guys who saved their tires better of Johnson and Rogerson? It's going to be interesting. Regular season title maybe on the line for the 23 and the 16 tonight. This restart could be big. For the 23, you have to have a good launch in the zone. Cannot get swallowed up here. Just have to beat the 16 coming to the Geico restart zone. We are green flag. A solid launch there for the inside lane. And for Carson Youngblood, Eric Johnson's going to look to the inside of Dustin Rogerson for P2, and he'll get it. Maybe not. Here comes Dustin with a good run. Can't finish it. If you're a car right, what's the goal here? Is it to just kind of chill? Know that you don't really want to burn these tires up. You got to do a whole big run to lap 120 here. That's 70 laps. As they're 3 wide behind him. Jim Treat, Ted Gamble Jr. Ooh, David Sharon keeps it there on the inside. Oh, he's bailing. Yeah, he bailed there in the middle. And look at it. They got really tight with each other after he did that. So good thing he probably did. Might have caused a crash if he didn't. These two are racing hard for 5th place. .45 outside. Treat inside. Good run off the corner exit. As we hit 2 to go in our stage. 15 cars on lead lap. Dean Howard is currently the free pass recipient. Looky here. Kari Wright up the back bumper of the 23. Carson Youngblood. Oh, he's up the track. He's all sorts of out of shape. And here comes Eric Johnson to the inside for the race lead. Final lap in the stage. And here comes Rogerson passing his championship rival.
All right, man.
Caution is out. Seemed a little early there. I believe at the end of lap 50, not at lap 50, but okay. I mean, about the same thing, right? And Eric Johnson because of a bobble from the 16 through 3 and 4 now has a stage win, and more importantly, Dustin Rogerson does pass him, so he only gets 1 point more. That 1 point, I mean, that could be the difference. I mean, that puts it to a 20-point gap now guaranteed. And so the 21, so it's a little more feasible. Not a lot. I bet he was really hoping the 16 was probably done in terms of being selfish part, right? But as a teammate, you don't want to see him out. You want to actually fight the guy, and he did just beat him right there on that restart. So, took a minute. Seemed like a pretty calm race, but yellow flag might have actually been for an incident tonight. It says Wesley Briggs is not being... Oh! Oh, Ron Millam and Wesley Briggs crash. Okay. all smooth sailing here. Oh, wow, the 81 blanket bad. The 47 is done. I mean, that is most likely day over for Ron. Dean Howard will get the free pass out of all that. Wow. So, I was right. Caution early, and that's why the caution was early. All right, coming down pit road. And look at the pit lane exit. Who is going to be the first car off pit road? It's going to be Ted Gamble Jr. Jim Treat, first 2 cars off. Austin Norris will come out in 3rd. Johnson, Lorway, Sharon Rogerson, Akari Wright, Drew Kuhn, Jason Septo, Terry Litwiller, and then your pole sitter of Robert Tester. Here comes David Sharon and Brian Matthews. That really completes. There is the number 3 car. Back on pit road, we have a new race leader, Ted Gamble Jr. He's looked very good tonight. Can't lie. We're going to see some guys taking the wave around the 8 car and the 87 of Blake Hewlett. Both taking the wave around. Blake Hewlett is 2 laps down, so he really needs to take the wave around here. Good thing for Blake, though, Brian Matthews is a lot of laps down after his unfortunate lap 1 incident. And Frank Chavez, the guy in front of him, is 21st, not on the racetrack right now. As we look to see how many laps down the 20 actually is. You look on your left, he is 10 laps down. He is still not past the 13 who is out of this race. So that just kind of shows you the gap we have tonight, as Frank Chavez, unfortunately involved in a crash because of some ARCA brake kind of action back here at the 51 and the 3. Trying to avoid the 01 car who spun out, or spun himself off the nose of the 69, who kind of just scurried away, and we haven't seen much of him. He's running 11th. Didn't really get involved in that. It was like, well, that was kind of crazy. Glad it's over. Glad they're behind me. Hopefully they don't get back to him. But new race leader means we see new faces at the front, and it is a very different field. I know Eric Johnson won this stage, but he really hasn't been up here most of the race. I know he led laps off that weird little restart on the opening lap. He was ahead of Robert, was leading a few laps under caution there, but under green he has not led until right then and there. So Jim Treat, Ted Gamble Jr., your front row. Gamble needs to win a race to make the playoffs. He's looked very good tonight. Mistake-free so far, a quarter of the way in. Think about that, folks. This is usually our halfway point, or near it. We are only a quarter of a way in tonight, and we've already had fireworks. We've seen the bump and run. We've seen insane mistakes. And now we're going to see these drivers who are left out there on the racetrack go back at it tonight at Charlotte. Pace truck will come off, and Ted Gamble Jr. will be at the discretion of when to go green here. Green flag late in the zone. He gets jumped on. The 45 did not launch. And here comes Eric Johnson on the outside of the 45. Austin Norris back there in 4th, trying to hold off Carson Youngblood, squeezing him into the outside wall. Oh, the 45's out of shape a little bit in front of him. Clear up is Austin Norris. No, not anymore. Outside, here comes Carson Youngblood. Youngblood will wrap the outside of the racetrack. Ted Gamble Jr. looking to wrap the same line, get back by Eric Johnson. Not the start the 45 was looking for. I think he is much better than all these cars he's racing with. Maybe the 16 on some equal tire and track position, but I don't know. This 45 looks really stout. I mean, he was only 2 seconds or so off the 22 and the 1 during that first green flag run, so he really might be. Now with the track position, the 9th is the 22, and 7th is the 1, so they have lost track position. Go up there, take the race lead in the clean air, as this might be what he's doing here off of corner number 2. Looking low on the Jim Treat. Treat trying to defend there. Has a much wider arc than the 45, as the 45 tried to dive it off in there to get the position. That hurt him on the exit of the corner, because here comes Carson Youngblood. He smells blood in the water. And here comes the 45. He's absolutely on rails in 1 and 2. This 45 is so good in 1 and 2. Have to be patient though. You want to take the race lead, but you don't want to lose second to this 16 car. So he's got 2 things he's got to do. He's got to find a way to get Roundtree and find a way to keep the 16 car from passing him while doing all that at once. You're also doing this all at 180 miles an hour, 160 through the corner. So you have a lot to think about if you're Ted Gamble Jr. And there's still a long, long race ahead of you. Don't make any enemies, maybe like the 1 car did a little earlier, bumping into the 22. I know he did give it back, but I don't think he'll see it much differently as they're kind of getting close to each other again. That might be something to watch for as the 22 looks to the inside of Jeff Lorway, and he has to check up for the 18. And here comes Lorway back on the outside. We might have another little battle for the lead. 45 just going about half a lane up to get the clean air, get the drive off. I think if this 45 gets the lead, he will scurry away, and he did not look bad on the long run either. So as long as he doesn't push his tires right here trying to go for the race lead, he really might be tough to beat. And there's the Treat trying to block the air there, trying to take the air off his nose, as these 3 are really separating themselves. Kari Wright is back up in the 4th though, which means one of the best cars, maybe the best car, is starting to charge back to the field. See Ted Gamble Jr. continuing to try and work on Jim Treat right now. Carson Youngblood in 3rd, but here is Akari Wright. About a 2.5 seconds, a little under off the race leaders. Here's Eric Johnson, Austin Norris, and Jeff Lorway and Robert Tester just going at it still. As the lights have come on, the darkness has overtaken Charlotte Motor Speedway. Charlotte under the lights is just a different atmosphere. I tell you what, it is a different feeling in the car. It just feels like a big event. Ooh, the 57 gets real tight mid-corner. Big run from the 22. He's going to have to look outside and help the 71. Big checkout from the 57, and he got really out of shape right there. Can the 22 clear him? Entering turns 1 and 2, he is clear, but he's somehow, oh, he'll be good. He's all clear. And he might look to the outside of the 71 of Jeff Lorway down the backstretch. And nope, the 71 closes the door. Ooh, a little block there on the 22. Side by side, entering 3. The 22 looks like he'll take it. He's going to slide up in front of the 71. 71 has bigger picture to think about right here. I mean, you're having a great run in the solid part in 6th, 7th. Oh, is he a wreck further back? Austin Norris around. Cautions out. Blake Hewlett into him. Chris Gaskell. Oh, no. And Blake Hewlett, when it all looked like he might beat Brian Matthews, was only a lap down. Still ahead of him. Oh, that is some heavy damage. I'm not sure what happened. The front nose is really crinkled. Really, the question is anything broke? It looks like the car is driving semi-straight. Just don't want to break any of the steering pin. You saw him get all tangled up further back. Let's see what happened. Well, we see who are involved. It was the 12 car. It looks like maybe the same kind of incident. Yep. 57 chops the nose of the 12. Oh, and Blake Hewlett. You just gotta check up. I mean, that's just something like you just gotta check up. I get what he's trying to shoot that gap right there. You see it and it closes, but if you check up, you have options of maybe changing your mind. And we've all been there. And Blake, I mean, the hole was there. The 87 had the hole. It was there. And then it closed. So I mean, unfortunate for Blake. Get a kind of a view from him. I'm sure that was a hard hit. Maybe not as hard as the 3 car was early in the race, but still a hard hit. Gyro cam, car wrecking. Yeah, I'm not too sure. Seems like there was a lot of time there. The car's just not a lot of using the middle brake pedal from guys tonight. I mean, that is something that needs to be figured out. One of the first things you gotta keep yourself in the race, and when you're fighting for points and it's so tight, you're only 3 ahead of Brian Matthews. Now, he didn't get any stage points. Qualified 4th tonight, didn't get any stage points in stage 1, fell all the way to 2 laps down after some issues, maybe repairing that race car, but Now heavy damage, hoping he can stay ahead of Brian Matthews. As long as he doesn't wreck out, he should be okay. And you don't want to give him that opportunity. And mistakes like that will give that 28 the opportunity. He's only 2 spots behind him now. Austin Norris most likely killed as well, as he got slammed into the right front suspension. So his great day is done. This 57 was a top 5, top 10 car tonight. That is a shame to see. And Drew Kuhn, who didn't do anything wrong there, just got his nose chopped by the 57. He gave him all the room he could. I mean, we need to realize here, like, there's a lot of racing left, guys. And we can't just chop people's noses off, and we can't not check up for wrecks. I mean, I get that one a bit more. You know, Blake saw a hole. Hole closed up. Part of the deal. Unfortunately, it did not work out for the 87 of Blake Hewlett. That's tough, man. This 87 deserves to be in the playoffs. He has had the speed as of late. The execution, though, is just in the luck. Obviously, getting wrecked on lap 1 was not in the bingo cards tonight. But still, unfortunate. And Brian Matthews, he's hoping that 87's down pit road all day, all night long. He don't want to see him back out there. He wants to see him buried. He wants to see him get passed by the 57 again. You want to see him lose some more spots. So this 28's hoping this race turns into a wreck fest, and that 87 car is not on the racetrack. He's hoping he's done for tonight. But now he has to limp around for 135, 134 laps now with a destroyed race car, or being so many laps down. He's not really fighting for anything, sadly. Your Blake Hewlett and Brian Matthews got taken out lap 1. So you know how Brian Matthews feels. Well, Frank Chavez, now he's sweating a little. All these wrecks are kind of opening the door for a guy like Brian Matthews to reel him in. With how the points are, wrecking out in this series is not good. And a top 10 run are big points. After that, the points they're not like normal NASCAR. The points are very thin back here after the top 15, top 10. And Dean Howard is still on the racetrack, so he can come out there. Dean Howard is scored in 16th, ahead of Blake Hewlett. As we get back to the Geico restart zone, Jim Treat has taken the race lead. It is a very, very big mix-up, as we see Ted Gamble Jr. further back in the field. But Jim Treat, your race leader, green flag back in the air at Charlotte. And you're seeing the two best friends side by side on the racetrack of Akari Wright and Robert Tester. Tester moves up in front of the 22. I mean, the 1, excuse me. Rogerson has the 4 of David Sharon. Looking to his outside, Daniel Jackson, who got ARCA braked earlier in the race a little bit. He's made his way into the top 10. Seeing Carson Youngblood kind of drift a little higher mid-corner. Not sure if that's on purpose or just kind of a handling woe tonight, as here comes the 1 of Akari Wright trying to look inside of Robbie Tester. Tester's not going to cut that 1 anymore brakes. He was not pleased with the contact at Kansas, or what could have been contact with them blocked. And well, tonight, he is definitely not pleased with that early contact of the bump and run, as the 1's all over his bumper a little bit in 3 and 4 again. That just makes me so nervous when 2 guys get tangled up on the racetrack a little bit. Now they're racing right near each other for 3rd and 4th. Long race, though. Both these guys have to remember that. And if you're Tester, why take the revenge now? Take it late when it really hurts this 1 car, if you're going to do that. A little bump, a little squeeze into the wall, maybe a little bit to kill his momentum or something, right? Hurt him when it hurts. And same with the 1. You got to think now. I mean, I'm the one that made him mad. I just got to hope that he's calmed down by the time we get to that point. And I think they all will be calm, but we can only hope that we don't see any more tangles on the racetrack. Obviously, I don't think that was on purpose from the 1. Just kind of drove it in there too deep. But you understand the frustration of Robert Tester, as now he looks to the outside of Youngblood, his teammate, for P2. As Jim Treat pulls up in front of him. Tester looks to the inside of Treat. Can he get a 2-for-1 for the race lead? Oh, not quite. Treat is going to stick it there on the outside, and Tester looks to slide out. That's going to kill the 22's momentum. At the line is going to be Treat, but Tester is hounding that 367 machine. Tester's going to drive it off into corner number 1. Can he clear Treat off of 2? Oh, he's cleared him all day. Here comes Youngblood. He almost got there. Had to lift, though, to keep his front nose off of the his teammate there. Zachary Wright's looking on him. Right to the inside. Dean Howard's off the pace down there on the apron. Blake Hewlett is back on the racetrack. 15 laps. Scored in 15th. 2 laps down. Not too bad, to be honest. After the hit he took. Be back on. There was still a lot of damage on that race car. He's lucky. Nothing in the suspension zone in the area. Excuse me. Got damage of any kind. Excuse me. I gotta take a drink break, folks. Oh, it's Robert Tester's in the wall. Big mistake from Robert Tester. Hopefully everything in the car is okay. I know off corner number 4, if you hit that wall just right, you can break the right front toe. That is not good from the 22 car. We'll see how that thing's driving. That looked, though, like a pretty hefty hit as he starts to pull away, though. Maybe it is okay. Hopefully it's okay. That was a pretty hard hit, though, to the outside wall. A wake-up call. This track's not easy, folks. It is a... excuse me, a little voice crack there. This track is not an easy racetrack. It is a track that sneaks up on you. 1 and 2 are pretty easy mile-and-a-half corner. It's very wide, but it's also very unforgiving. Off of the exit, it kind of sneaks up on you. But 3 and 4 is tight. It is close. And honestly, it sneaks up on you so fast. That wall jets out a little bit off of corner number 4. So it's really a pain. And if you don't hit it right, and you get on the gas too hard or you get real tight, you're going to slap it and you're going to really hurt your race car. Not sure if it did hurt the 22, but he's not pulling away now from Tree and Wright. So, as Ted Gamble Jr. has made his way back up into the top 5. This 45 car could be spoilers tonight. He really could. He is fast tonight. He looks very fast with a very nice paint scheme, I might add. It is a beautiful paint scheme. I love that red and black. It looks very nice. Rogerson right behind him. But this 45, keep an eye on him the whole race. Still a long ways to go. Coming to 125 at the line, but as the 22's in the fence again, it looks like. Not as hard that time. Don't want to play with that. That's playing with fire. This Tree is trying to block 2 lanes here on the racetrack. Mainly the 1 car, because you feel like that's a bit more of a worry than the 16, as the 1 had to get out of the throttle there. Looked like he was going to pound the outside wall. Still has momentum. Didn't have the run he was looking for, though, if you're a Kari, right? Outside, he'll clear the 16 off of corner number 4 here. Clear, clear, clear. As now he'll have just one-on-one again with Jim Treat. But he can't let Robert Tester just kind of pull away here, as there is a lap car of Greg Bridge Jr. Greg Bridge Jr. 16th. 3 laps down now after that. Unfortunately for the 3 car, after some cars spun in front of him, wasn't able to get it rode down in time, and well, he kind of slammed into him slightly hard in the 51 of Daniel Jackson. He was in the top 10. The damage wasn't too bad for him, I guess. But it was pretty severe for the 3 car, and his playoff chances, well, they're gone. He needed to win tonight. He's most likely not going to win with 3 laps down with the best car and no damage, and now he has not the best car and damage. So I'm not sure I'll see that, but you never know. We've seen crazy things in this series. Ryan Matthews has passed Austin Norris on the racetrack, up to 18th. I'm not sure he can beat Frank Chavez, but man, keeping in it, keeping in the fight. And if I'm him, I'm taking every wave around I can. Dean Howard's 2 laps ahead, so you never know. Points can be tight. Every point matters, and that's why you got to think missing that race. I believe at Talladega, Brian Matthews missed. That could be the difference maker in making the postseason, and also just not executing sometimes. I mean, we've seen that 28 car run pretty decent and either doesn't get stage points or wrecks out late or something happens to him, and sometimes you just got to execute a little better or keep yourself out of the hornet's nest sometimes, because the hornet's nest is where your nuts are going to get cracked. I mean, that's just the truth of it. Hornet's Nest is a scary place for everyone, even the fastest cars. And cleanest of drivers will get wrecked in the Hornet's Nest. It does not matter who you are. And you can have the best luck, the worst luck. You're probably going to get wrecked if you stay there for too long. Robbie Tester has taken back to the race lead after a lot of eventful things, going lap down, getting the wave around to get back in the lead lap after the caution fell from the 01s. Or, I believe, yeah, the 01 spinning. Getting spun. down the front straightaway as the one had to lift off of corner number 2 there. Got a little tight behind Jim Treat, and here comes Carson Youngblood to the inside. He's not going to be able to finish the pass, and we'll see if they can stay side by side. Looks like they might stay side by side. The one does have momentum off of 4. At the line, it's advantage Akari Wright, but the 16 starting to pull him back entering turn 1. See how it goes entering 1. The 16 kind of half a lane up, now back to the bottom paint. Ooh, got to the quarter panel mid-corner. Kind of made the 16 tight up the racetrack. And clear entering turn 3. Or the number 1. These cars keep just fighting for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Letting Fester kind of... Ooh, there's the one car up against the fence. Ed Gamble Jr., man. He's not only running down Tester, but he is running down the race leaders. This guy is so quietly good tonight. Man, it'd be something to see this guy win. He seems like a really cool guy. I mean, he does not have any good luck. He is very fast. We've seen him run top 5, top 10 a lot this year, and some strategy doesn't go his way. Or strategy, he's doing something different strategy, and a wreck happens, and he happens to be back in the pack now, and then something, that car's just done. Seen it a lot this year. I think Auto Club was a run where this 45 looked really sporty. But I think tonight could be this 45's night. Like I've said, keep an eye on him throughout the night. I know Tester is leading right now. You see Jim Treat looking great on defense at the moment. Only car that could really pass him was a amped up Robert Tester on the restart. Looked mad driving out there as Youngblood's passed Akari Wright for 3rd. So Akari Wright not doing as good on the long run as he did the first stage. At least at executing this. He needs to execute these passes and such. Can't keep allowing to lose track position. Even if you have better tires, if you keep losing track position, it's just not going to work in your favor. Gonna have a good run off corner number 2. Gets to the inside off the backstretch. Entering 3, excuse me. Oh my. Mouthful there, I guess. Wasn't able to quite get there. He'll set up another corner, set up a pass, and the 16 kind of gave him the bottom. I wouldn't have done that. Bottom is definitely the preferred lane with clean air. And he got right to him there. And Robert Tester is really not pulling a gap on Jim Treat. I'm not sure if he's saving some tire here or what's going on. But he's not pulling away. It's been about 6/10 of a second, it seems like, every lap. Seems like the 367 machine will gain down the straightaway, lose in the corner, gain back all he lost, and it just seems very even at the moment. It was 6/10 of the line. It's now about probably going to be 7/10 of a second. See the battle for 3rd about to heat up again. Wright trying to get by the good old boys bumper in front of him of Carson Youngblood. And Akari Wright further back. We do have that caution, remember, on lap 120, so they're just going to go. Can't make it on fuel, obviously, to 120, but when do you pit? Do you pit a little earlier? Get the jump. We saw the 22 try to do that, and I think he would have won the stage if it went green. But it didn't go green. Or do you run? I mean, you can also just run long, have a big tire advantage the whole rest of the run to the end of the stage, or pit and then or caution comes out and you get maybe even just a better outcome. You get the track position and fresh tires, just not the big gap that you might have. Robert Tester's kind of very even gap. Very nice to see that as the 1 and the 16 continue just go at it. Neither one was, big switch left to right, right to left. And he's there to the inside of the 16. Good clean move though. Good crossover off of corner number 4, and the one car is clear entering turns 1 and 2. Maybe starting to actually get going here is Akari Wright again. Remembering how good him and this car was early in the race. Gamble just kind of watching. Maybe at this 45, if he could just save a lot of tire while all these guys are just going at it, he'd just be a monster in the long run. As Blake Hewlett kind of was in the way of the 22 there. He's going to go 3 laps down. Bad place to catch lap traffic if you're Robert Tester. Lost about a 10th or 2 on the racetrack, so not good for Robbie. And now the lap car is going to be right in front of Jim Treat's clean air. I'm sure Treat's very pleased about that. I'm sure he's saying great things on the radio. Let's take a through the field tonight. Let's look at our race leader, Robert Tester. Had some adversity tonight. Almost got spun early, lap 30-ish, 35-ish. By the number 1 of Akari Wright. Kept his foot in it. It came down pit road. Caution came out after the 01 had contact. Spun himself on the front straightaway. And he's rallied his way back up into the race lead and some great restarts. Jim Treat, though, he's had a solid night tonight. Running the top 6, top 5 all night tonight. Been really quiet. Sneaky good tonight. Watch this Jim Treat boy run up front and be a contender tonight. He's looked very good at defense. Looked to be very good. Yeah, I think the only car that's really passed him that I've seen this run is that, obviously the 22 did pass him, but it looked like he just had a really good few corners, if you ask me. And Akari Wright in 30 starting to run down Jim Treat, but this one car, well, he made some enemies early with the 22, but starting to run back down the race leaders. He looks very good tonight. Won last weekend at Kansas in dominant fashion. Really, the only car to compete with him there was the 22 of Robert Tester, so kind of the same story for 2 weeks in a row, but Akari Wright looking for that second win of the season, 2 in a row. Carson Youngblood, your points leader, man, he started this race off looking like a rookie. But right now he is rallied. This looks like a Kyle Larson-esque run. Back in the top 5 with a car that was spun, wrecked on lap 1, and pancakes the outside wall. That might be another Kyle Larson moment for the 16 of Carson Youngblood. Hopefully the car is okay there. But he's had an up and down night, but runs in the top 5 now. Currently in 4th. Ted Gamble Jr., I've talked about him all night being a sleeper pick for this race win. That's because he's ran right here or in the top 5 or almost the race lead in the one run. Excuse me. This 45 car has been a solid car all night. He looks very sporty. Looks like he can run any car, can pass race cars. Watch him be a contender later. Dustin Rogerson. Well, he gained 1 point to the points leader, but really just does not seem to have anything for the top 5 race cars. Honestly, the 69 of Terry Litwiller has been putting some pressure on him, but Dustin having a solid top 10 night in the 23 car. Just got to keep her clean to the end. We have a long race. Still 106 to go at the line. Terry Litwiller in the 69 machine. He's been spun the 01. Not of his fault. Just got cleared on by the 01 of Gaskell, but didn't make contact. That did spin him, so he was the car that spun him, but no fault of his own. The 69's had a pretty uneventful night tonight aside from that. Very quiet, very solid, though. Runs 7th right now. Looking for a solid run, maybe a bit more to go to playoff victory lane tonight. You see Robert Tester and Jim Treat down pit road further up the field. Here is Eric Johnson in 18 as the pit cycle starts right as I try to do this. He runs further along. Jeff Lorway behind him. Chris Gaskell, man who spun. He was in the top 10 before all that, but 8th now. Good run for the 01 car. Here's Drew Kuhn. He's been in the top 5 at one point earlier in the race. Has a very good long-run car. It seems like the silver bullet of Kuhn. David Sharon looked really sporty earlier in the race. Not sure what's happened to the 4 car as of late. Here's Daniel Jackson, who's in the top 10. Just after that restart, as Carson Youngblood has made his way to pit road. Jason Steptoe. I'm not sure what's going on with the 50 car. Does not seem to have the pace in him right now. Kind of pittering back in 14th, last car in the lead lap. I'd like to see some improvements from Jason tonight. Always a solid race car inside the top 10. Still a long ways to go, like I said, so no reason to panic. As we look at the one car of Akari Wright back out front at Charlotte. I like this strategy of going long. You still have 20 or so laps. You could take 2 tires here. That's what I think you should do. Take 2 tires. Go get yourself a stage one. The 2-tire call would be the right call. You wouldn't have to put the full fuel. You put the full fuel on when you pit for 4 at the end of the stage. I think 2 tires is the call here. Put enough gas in to make it to the end of this stage here in 22 laps at the line. Win yourself a stage, or at least beat some of those cars and come down, put full tank of gas in. Still have 80 laps to right that ship if you do lose track position from it. I don't think you would. And if you're Robert Tester, and Jim Treat and Carson Youngblood, you should be like, you better not wreck. Everyone better keep their nose clean, as here comes Drew Kuhn down to pit road. If we had a pit reporter, I'd ask him some information about it, right? Just like the Fox not Fox. Fox doesn't have good broadcasts. I wouldn't say I'm a professional, but I think Fox is just absolutely atrocious. Without a doubt. As the 45 starting to fall back on the long run. Not as good of a car maybe in the traffic tonight for Ted. Likes a clean racetrack. I mean, who doesn't? Can't blame him. Want to lose some ground, though, right now. He's going to run this 69 car hard, though. Clean but hard. Love watching some good side-by-side racing where no one's getting real aggressive with side drops. Just some clean racing. Giving each other plenty of room. Respect. Ooh, 45. Excuse me. Almost got into the outside fence there. Maybe giving a little too much room. Oh my. They're still side by side. That's been side by side for a lap. Neither one can get the advantage, and here's going to be a side draft entering the corner from the 69. Some like Cup Series level driving skills right now from both these guys. They're third and fourth on the racetrack as leaders have pit, and they're still going to be side by side off of corner number 4. What a battle right now we're watching. Gamble on the outside. This might be a chance to clear. Never mind. The 45 wraps the top so good. He might clear him off too. Maybe not. This 69 does so good all of a sudden. And there he is. Clear. What a battle. And look how much time they lost to Dustin. They lost like a second, but who cares? When you have a fight like that, I mean, it makes you feel a little better as Jeff Lorway in the 71 is making his way to pit road. He's had a really solid night tonight. Top 10 car tonight. Or just outside of that in 11th or 12th. Look at Akari right. Miss Tootsie's #1 car. Looking to have the long run pace with the fresh tires. Like the call. Greg Virginia you're seeing there. Pull down pit road. David Sharon has pulled down pit side. That 4 car. Dustin Rogerson about 2.2. That's what it's been huddling at of a seconds back from the race leader, Ted Gamble Jr. Continuing to just trying to fend off Terry Litwiller, giving him fits back here. Eric Johnson kind of just quietly in the 5th position. It's been a solid night for the 18, but not a very quiet night. We usually see him up front, kind of contending for the race win or having the pace to. It's just been a quiet night for the 18 of Johnson. Chris Gaskell, it's been an eventful night for Chris, getting spun out on the straightaway. You know, that's pretty eventful as he has Jim Treat, oh my, on fresh tires and a very fast race car right behind him. But he's not just going to let Treat by. He's like, I don't really care. I'm running my own race. You can pass me still. I'm still a car on the racetrack. Got a little tight off of corner number 2 there. Step toe. In 7th, he has passed Daniel Jackson, so he has gotten around 1 race car. Still a struggle for the 50 car tonight. See David Sharon right here on the racetrack. We're here. David Sharon hasn't had an issue entering pit road. Exiting pit road. That's what my scoring monitor said. That doesn't look like an issue, so I'm not sure what. Oh. Of course I miss it as it's going to it. I think there was an issue. So right there, he's on the gas, throttling up, and whoa, onto the. Whoa, how is that not a caution? That is crazy. I guess because he really backed it up quick. I was saying I wouldn't have backed it up quick at all. Let that caution fly. Wow, that's scary. And that's not good for this 4 car. He's been solid tonight. He's going to go a lap down off pace now, most likely because of that mistake. Then you take the wave around here at the end of the stage, get back on the lead lap. He is 2 down right now, but he'll at least get 1 of those back. See Daniel Jackson, Ted Gamble Jr. down pit road. Only 12 laps to really use these tires. You're going to just really need to push. Or just really save and not pit at the end of the stage. Save a set doing so. Which might be what a lot of these guys might be doing. Chris Gaskell still on the racetrack in 4th. 4 cars have not pitted. Robert Tester is the leader of the cars who have pitted, but Jim Treat hounding him, and here comes David Sharon. This would be the battle to stay a lap down, so David Sharon has everything to fight for right here. This isn't just like a battle for, hey, we're just battling for battling's sake. No, the 4 car has something to fight for here, and he has fresher rubber. Going past the 22 car. You don't know if you'll get that wave around back. You don't know what will happen. Go past him now while you have the speed to pass him. At least he... Oh, and the 22 kind of chopped his nose. On some fresher rubber there. The 4 gives him a break there. The 1 did not earlier in the race. Oh, both of the race leaders, or what will be, are in the fence right there. As there's Gaskell right. 3 of the 4 cars who have not pit just came down pit road. Dustin Rogerson, the Lone Ranger, out on the racetrack. No penalties, guys, as he's coming off pit road right there. Dustin Rogerson comes down. And Kari Wright, we're going to see how far back Wright is. Entering 3, and there's the 1. That's a lot to gain right here. But we'll see. The tire fall off is pretty big here. Coming to 10 to go at the line. I'm not sure if he can catch him. He might be close. That's why I said 2 tires. I feel like that would have been the tire call and the advantage. But man, if you're the 4 car of David Sharon, you have to get by this 22. This is not a question of ifs. As there's the 23 of Dustin Rogerson. What a pit cycle for the 23 car. He jumps the 1 who is 2-something seconds ahead of him, and he jumps Carson Youngblood, who had an undercut. About a second off the race lead to Robert Tester, who has been, passed by David Sharon. Good move from the 4 car. If he has a much better finish than 13th tonight, that might be why. That alone right there is Daniel Jackson, I believe, had issues down pit road as he is 2 down, looking to come back home 1 lap down as he's reeling in the race leaders with his fresh tires. As we see a battle for the race lead, Jim Treat wants the stage win. Tester wants it as well. Treat is there to the outside. Daniel Jackson just wants one of his laps back. And Jim Treat to the lead at Charlotte. Zero Torque Racing League Coca-Cola 300 has been eventful tonight, and now we have Jim Treat back out front at Charlotte. Oh, and Tester's into the fence. And Daniel Jackson's going to go by. So Daniel Jackson wants to go now just 1 lap down. If you're Jim Treat, do you really fight this 4 car if you don't have to? I mean, he's got a 5/10, almost 6/10 of a second gap now to... Here comes the 51 as well. All these lap cars want their laps back. And if Daniel Jackson goes 1 down, it's going to be easy. 1 caution and boom, back in the lead lap. So, I mean, he really has to get by the Jim Treat right now. Has to. Not going to be able to do so. And if you're Jim Treat, I mean, do you maybe just let him by? I mean, he's not been a car that can maybe come up here and challenge for the race win, but a top 10 run is in the cards for the 51 tonight if he's able to get back his laps. So maybe give him a favor, because if you don't maybe give him the favor, he might just race you a little harder to when you might put him down another lap or so. You never know. Always got to think ahead tonight. In a long race like that is Dustin Rogerson. Robert Tester has fallen about a second back now from Jim Treat. They pit on the same lap, so not sure what happened there. Daniel Jackson's going to have a bit of clean air on the top here. Big run as well. Jim Treat's blocking it. Not sure why. Bit 6 to go in the stage. 51 trying to get him out. And I get it too, though. You don't want this car to go down a lap. That's another car you have to worry about. He's there, though. Fresh tires and all. He's going to go to the top here, get the clean air. On the 367 Premier setup machine. About a 2.5 lead. He is absolutely capped everyone else. There's a car right. Up to P5. Make it P4 on the fresh tires. He might get up to P2. I don't see him catching Jim Treat before the end of this. Depends on how fast the lap times are. I mean, if Treat spins out or something, yeah, maybe. But I don't see that happening. Dustin Rogerson and Robert Tester start going at it for... And look at this. This is another thing we haven't talked about. Rogerson jumps him. He jumps Carson Youngblood as well, who I think will lose 4th for sure before the end of the stage. So that's going to be another 3 points gained. Got to think about that stuff. You see Ted Gamble Jr., Terry Litwiller. Still about right by each other. Whoa, as we see David Johnson go back down a lap. Oh my. And that's not good for Daniel Jackson, who now won't get even his free pass. He's going to have to take a wave around. And Jim Treat's just really good right now. He's on it. He's not really wanting this yellow. He's putting a gap on everyone. Cartwright has solidly made his way into 4th place. Passing Carson Young really spread out right now on the racetrack. David Sharon trying everything he's worth to get back ahead of Jim Treat. And Daniel Jackson's cheering him on back there like, come on, man. You got to do it for me. Do it for yourself. There's 2 to go in this stage for Jim Treat. Dean Howard comes down pit road on the racetrack in 17th, about multiple laps down. Coming here to the stage end. We're going to see the white flag in the stage. In stage 2 of this race, Jim Treat, where has he come from with this kind of speed? Almost a 3-second race lead for Jim Treat as we approach the final lap of this stage. You see Jim Treat off of corner number 2. No pressure at all. Not even from the lap car to get the lap back. 3-second race lead. Rogerson and Testa are going at it back here. Rogerson's going to get it. Akari Wright's going to be just short of it. Green and white, excuse me. Green and white checkered flag is out. Clicked the wrong button there.
All right, man. Caution is out.
Caution has come out on the racetrack. 10th place might not have crossed the line, but didn't see really any battles too close there to change anything. Jason Septo will get a top 10 stage point finish, so good for him. Very calm part of the race. Very calm. David Sharon will get the free pass. We'll have 13 cars in the lead lap once this caution period is over. Jim Treat, the man to beat right now as the sun's came down. Other cars have faltered. Dustin Rogerson up to P2. Give the 23 some track position. He might be a threat as that is our 5th caution of the night. Whoa, the 4 cars coming in hot. Not just him. Everyone's coming in hot apparently. I think we all need to maybe just brake a little bit more. Oh my. You guys are scaring me out here tonight. Middle brake pedal, guys. You guys are scaring me. Giving me heart attacks. Jim Treat will come down pit road. I would assume you would see every race leader come down pit road. That pit cycle didn't really work out for the 1 car. Like I said, 2 tires might have been the call. Ted Gamble Jr. will come down pit road. Terry Litwiller. Eric Johnson. Drew Kuhn. Jason Steptoe. Chris Gaskell. Jeff Lorway. And David Sharon will stay out. Either he'll get the free pass there. He'll go past the pace truck. Rogerson had a really good job getting on pit road. He was right in the back bumper of Jim Treat. We'll see who gets off pit road first. There's Blake Hewlett coming down pit road in his 4th place grid spot, qualifying in the top 5. Who gets off pit road first? It's going to be the 45 car. Maybe 2 tires, some strategy. Whoa, Jim Treat spins on pit road, minimal contact, but the tire slide in the track position. I see cars further back. Jim Treat didn't want to give up his spot to the car ahead of him, of Akari Wright, I believe, and it cost him. And Ted Gamble Jr., the sleeper pick I've had all night tonight, and this 45 could play upset and just break Blake Hewlett's heart tonight. I think Frank Chavez is safe at the moment with where Blake is running. 22nd for Frank. Blake is 15th. And Daniel Jackson is out of this race. So I'm not sure what happens if the 51 has had some networking issues, which isn't good for Frank Chavez. He's out of the race. He can't gain that spot back. Brian Matthews is able to gain that spot as well, though. The 45, excuse me, leads this race. He'll pick the inside lane. Man, this has been a long one tonight. As the Xfinity race is about to get started here in real life, we still have 76 laps? Yeah, 76 laps to go when we go back green. It's been a pretty clean night. Seen some pretty boneheaded moves with some clearing themselves down the straightaway. This track is kind of goofy when it comes to that, but with how the front stretch is shaped. But it is what it is. Those incidents are over. Should have been just a few car spins, but ended up being like 3 or 4 car wrecks. Oh, it's David Sharon. Oh, he's in the back of the 3 car back there. Oh, come on, guys. And that will be a lot of damage for the 4 car who just got back on the lead lap. Oh my gosh. Pace lights are still off, so we're going to go green, but David Sharon's wishing he could have that one back. Hopefully not too hard of damage for the 4 car. Just came in way, way too hot. But I'm excited to see how this is all going to shape out. Ted Gamble Jr., the first time tonight he's in the race lead, and he is knocking out someone of the playoffs if he wins tonight. Ted Gamble Jr. had the race lead on the restart last time, didn't hold it.
Green flag.
Green flag. Great jump this time. He'll be clear easy entering turn 1. He'll run the top side of the racetrack. Maybe trying to help Dustin Ryderson with a little bit of a toe down the back straightaway. Ooh, the 22 is really good in the short run. You got to be weary of him. Ooh, as he tries to stick it on in there. The 22 sent it, kind of like the one did to him earlier. The 45 with the runoff exit. Here comes a Curry right on the outside trying to help him. Dustin, if you're Ted Gamble Jr., you cannot let the 22 take control of this race. Clear is Robert Tester. And Ted can't get back to the inside with a crossover. It all came with the big old send entering 3 and 4. I mean, it was a send. I think he just sent it from... It was not there. But, I mean, he made himself there, and he's taking the race lead. No contact. Robert Tester, your race leader now. And Akari Wright's trying to get back to the rear bumper of the 22 Pennzoil machine, trying to get to the inside of the 45. This green flag just flew for the NASCAR Xfinity Series. We're still in the dead heat to see if someone can play spoilers in the season finale, the regular season finale tonight. Ooh, car in the fence there. And one of Akari Wright kind of got into the fence a little bit. As he has cleared into P2. So the same two guys who were leading earlier that we saw some contact back out in front of Charlotte. Robbie Tester leads about 3 or 4 tenths of a second. Here comes Ted Gamble Jr. Carson Youngblood having a battle. Jim Treat, awesome track position down in 5th. Dustin Rogerson was second on that restart. He did not have a good restart there whatsoever. Hurt him kind of bad. Back in the P6. Drew Kuhn in 7th. Ooh, is the battle for the lead starting to heat up again. I'm really intrigued to see what these two are going to do once they get racing here. As we hit 71 laps to go. It's getting there. I mean, just a few pit stops. We're only 2 pit stops away from the end of this race. It's kind of get up and go time. Don't want to lose the lead anymore. You can't keep doing that. Can't lose the race lead as Ted Gamble Jr. has now fallen back into 5th. I think that's kind of the floor for that 45 car, 5th or 6th, which isn't a bad floor whatsoever. Seeing him get a lot of pressure now from the 23 who was on his outside in the restart. Gamble Jr. on the outside of Drew Kuhn now as Dustin Rogerson works to the inside of him. Let's go to crank it up for the first time in this series. Here in the Zero Torque Racing League Coca-Cola 300. We are just a few 68 laps to go in this race. Let's hear these engines roar. Oh man, I can't do this right now. We have a big old battle for the race lead. Crank It Up can come after. I gotta see this and commentate. Akari Wright has caught Robert Tester, and there was blocking galore going on right there. Here comes Akari Wright, wanting the race. He'll have clean air on the top here in the middle lane. That might be a big run off of corner number 4. That looks like a little netcode to the wall contact. Not a big run, though. Not a lot gained. 1 and 2 is where the top can really boogie if you hit it right. And that looks like he hit it right. Looks like a really good exit here off of corner number 2. Going to cut it from 3 to 4 car lengths, down to 2, maybe 1 entering turn 3. And air is looking ever so nicer as the Carson Youngbloods. I mean, these two are the best cars tonight. I know Jim Treat went and took the lead there, but in clean air, same tire, I think these two are the best cars. Jim Treat, though, he's right there with them, so if he gets track position, though, I think Jim's just so hard to pass. He's done such a good job tonight in that. But Robert Tester and Akari Wright, I think, are the class of the field in terms of just pure all-out pace throughout the entire run. Right now, Ted Gamble Jr. has fallen down to 9th place with his, I believe, 2-tire pit call. I'm not sure what the pit call was. Maybe just fuel. It's not working out for him. It's P9. About to be P10. Now we can go back to crank it up. If we go back to crank it up and these two start battling, I'm going to be kind of annoyed, but also kind of not, because I mean, that was a really good paddle we were getting our hands on there, but I feel like these two are just having the calm before the storm right now. But let's go back to crank it up here in the Zero Torque Racing League. And that is our Crank It Up segment. Love hearing the roar of the engines and watching these guys work at their craft. But my oh my, I'm going to tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, this is very fun to watch. I'm going to talk you through what it's like racing one of these stock cars here tonight at Charlotte Motor Speedway. So we're going to look at the view. Let's get at the clean air. Robert Tester probably has the best look. He is leading the race after all. He's doing pretty good. Entering turn 1 here. He's going to use just the ever so slightest brake right here. Brake on it. Gas. He's off the gas right here. There he is. Picked it up right there. He's not on it fully. Now. Right there. On it full. Full throttle. Saving tire while doing that, though. You have to not push these cars to their absolute limit. And the one car, see that? A little bit more wheel in it than the 22 is. Maybe just using up a bit more tire, but he might just be a bit more better. And that might be why he's thinking, if I get clean air, well, this is over. If I have clean air and I'm a bit better, And I'm a bit better at saving tire in the dirty air. I mean, he might be just a little too good to beat tonight if he gets out front. He really hasn't been out front. Oh, the dirty air got him there. Dirty air got to the one car. It was a big slide up from the 22 in front of him. Took the air away. Slide back a little bit. There's Robert Tester. Or excuse me, Kari Wright from Robert Tester. Third place of Youngblood. 2 seconds back from the race lead. Kind of been hovering there. About 2/10 slower than the race leader in the last lap. And these two are just, I think, a little unbeatable. I think Jim Treat will pass Carson Youngblood this run. Seems like Youngblood just has not been the greatest on pit road tonight. It just seems like he's getting jumped or not having the great pit calls. Robert Tester on the racetrack. He's got a lap car of Craig Bridge Jr. and it's not a good place to catch him. He's going to have to lift a little bit perhaps. Sakari Wright had to take evasive actions though on the bottom, so really both of them I think got held up equally. Tester wrapping the bottom, and that's what the one car wants to do as well. But you see, oh, the 22's in the fence there. It's going to kill his momentum. Yeah, had a really good corner there, but now he's going to bleed time entering turn 1. Robert Tester right here. Trying to hold off with Kari Wright. I think he knows if the one car gets the lead, like I've been said a few moments ago, it might be day over for Robert Tester in terms of just pure beating him. Because if he goes on the long run again like he did last time, it's gonna be very hard. Let's take a look at the fuel. All right, I haven't really looked at the fuel all race tonight. Let's look at the pit strategy tonight of these race car drivers. It'll let me. There it goes. Not sure why I was doing that. So, they're about 25 laps. Everyone's on the same fuel load here in the top 8. I'm not sure about tires. They might be a little bit different. See, made about the same amount of stops. Kari Wright's made a few more. Oh, they've both made actually the same amount of stops. So, made 4 stops tonight. Have both of these drivers. And looks like the longest they can go is 44 laps. We see maybe further back, we see Rogerson at 45. Seems like that's the absolute peak of the fuel run. We're at 51 to go this time. So how much longer can they go? Is this going to be maybe a little bit of a fuel race, depending on what's the fuel situation like for these drivers? Well, I mean, we'll just have to see how long everyone's able to go on the racetrack. There's Chris Gaskell. Chris Gaskell, man, he's having a night. I mean, he's only 5.8 back from the race lead. Everyone has gotten much closer as this race is going on. I mean, we saw gaps early in the race, like 10 seconds. Only a few laps into the run. So, the whole field in the top 10, 8 seconds apart. I mean, much better job tonight, guys. And great job. Dean Howard's, he's had a rough night tonight. He's fought for everything. He's running 16th, 8 laps down. Brian Matthews. He's not on the racetrack, so not sure what happens there. I think he's just kind of maybe giving up, maybe behind the wall, maybe just a little lagging there. We said he's down pit road, so maybe the 28 has pulled it to the garage. Might be the case. Not saying out. Oh, the 22 got into the fence again. This 22, it seems like everyone's getting to the fence, but right there off exit is dangerous. Very dangerous for Robbie. Might end his night. Got to be wary of it. We are at the tail end of the fuel run. I think everyone's going to be able to make it here on one more stop. 29 laps to go. It's when do you pit? The fuel opens up here in about 2-3 laps. So do you pit real early, just get a big jump and hope it... I don't think that's the case. It could be, though. Catch a caution at the right time will work out for you. Catch at the wrong time, though, it might not. I think you'll see some cars pit here next 6 to 10 laps. You'll see maybe a few guys go a little longer, 5 so laps. Get the fresh tire advantage. I think the 1 might do that. Then maybe try and run back down this 22 because right, this run He spent so much time in dirty air. It looks like he's really just killed the tires. He's just now riding about 6-7 tenths back. Can't make any inroads, and this is kind of where Carson Youngblood's just kind of been at this same gap the entire run. He's just not gaining or losing. Same with Jim Treat. They've just kind of been sitting here 2.2, 2.8 back. Very interesting race right now as 22. I don't know. Maybe that's just like a graphics thing. I'm not sure, but he just keeps hitting the wall. And Chris Gaskell, what a run for the 01 car, man. Really, I mean, just a great run. I mean, he got spun out early, locked them down, didn't come back up into traffic. Didn't cause a big wreck, even though they wrecked behind him for spinning out on the infield. He was able to keep him locked down, and his mistake is, well, it's not really a mistake. He's ahead of the guy he spun himself on. And Terry's he's been really sporty tonight too, so he just got passed actually by Eric Johnson not too long ago. Some great runs tonight. Drew Kuhn, been a quiet night for the 12. A car we usually see run up front for the win. I mean, he's with that Pinnacle Wraps number 12 Silver Bullet. Just kind of ran in 6th to 12th all night tonight. Not really been it's been in the top 5 earlier in the race, early, but he's not really been the car to beat tonight, or even a top 5 car. Seems like a 6th place car is kind of the limit of this car right now, unless maybe he's just going to come on strong here at the end. Robert Tester in the 22. Wrapping this racetrack. This is a there's David Sharon. I believe he has come down pit road. Oh, he's a lap down. So no, he is actually gone a lap down. A lot of that being of his own doing after running to the wall pretty hard, and then the back of the 3 car under caution. Carson Youngblood starting to make a little inroads. That's not Carson. That's Carson Youngblood. Went from 2.2 to 2.1, so I mean, that was 2 seconds right there. So it's starting to maybe eke into the time here in the long run of the race leaders. We are in the fuel window, so you pit here, you'll make it to the end. Might have a few lap older tires though than everyone else, which could be worrisome. And man, Akari Wright's not going anywhere. He really is not. He's just been hanging out here. Looks like the max he'll fall back is 7 tenths, and the clean air starts to get better, and then he'll get back up to around here, and it starts to get bad. So maybe that changes as Carson Youngblood got to 2 seconds, and he's no longer there. Might have been a little trouble lapping the 4 car. Might be why he's not making any inroads right now. Akari Wright running the middle a lot more this run. Very interesting. See this 22 gap in the bottom might be the reason why he's running that middle, but 1 car roughing the middle, starting to reel back in the 22, but the 22 just moves up when he starts to see him reel back in. There's Blake Hewlett there. Not sure the 22 knew where he was going to go. I think it held him up a little bit more than you would think. The gap's down to 4 tenths, 5 tenths now. The pretty good mid-corner speed from the 22. Carson Youngblood in 3rd. Not a lot going on right now. Very, very calm race we've had since really our last caution. Been very calm. Haven't seen any restarts or anything to kind of spice up the field. Ted Gamble Jr. runs 12th. Last car on the lead lap. I would assume he might pit soon. Maybe get a jump on some of the guys in front of him, like Jeff Lorway, who sits 11th. Just ahead of him. Having a solid night. No mistakes. Oh, is Ted Gamble Jr. talking about mistakes? That's the fence there. But no mistakes tonight as all the guys around him, Frank Chavez, Brian Matthews, Blake Hewlett, all have issues. He has kept it clean tonight and has had a good run. I believe he got some stage points, so good night for the 71 car. Solidly locked into the playoffs, most likely, as long as he keeps it straight here to the end of the race. See Robert Tester in the 22. Some of these guys are troopers, man. Like Craig Bridge Jr., 5 down, damaged car. Blake Hewlett, I mean, he's coming out here trying to get every point he can. Probably a good thing. Probably would have kept Brian Matthews in the race if he didn't do that. We're seeing just kind of the same story we've talked about the last 20 laps. Same kind of gap. If there's the 22 down pit road, the one's going to stay out longer. And if a caution comes out now again, I don't think the 22 can recover. I don't think he can unless it gets really crazy. Goes down a lap, and then a caution comes out as Drew Kuhn is also down pit road in the Pinnacle Wraps number 12 Silver Bullet. Ted Gamble Jr. will hit pit road. So the fuel window was not open. I'm actually kind of stupid. Fuel window just opened up. These guys are really early. There is the one car. A lap after. So interesting there. A car right only a lap after. Didn't go for a few laps. Yeah, I kind of thought he would. Carson Youngblood, though, he saw that. He's going to be like, I'm going to go long this time. Or we'll see, I guess, as we see Terry Litwiller as well down pit road. Robert Tester coming off the racetrack right there. He is a lap down. So caution comes out. He will be royally screwed. Especially with the one getting service here. There's Ted Gamble back out on the racetrack. Carson Youngblood, he will come down pit road. Jim Treat will stay out with Dustin Rogerson to retake the race lead. Four cars have not made a pit stop yet. And Jim Treat is leading this race like he was at the end of stage 2. Picked up the stage win. Was pretty dominant. I wouldn't give him the track position. As always, going to come down pit road. Looks really aggressive. Get it rode down. Looked like he did a good job entering good.
All right, man.
Caution is out. Caution is out on the racetrack. Green flag cycle. And it looks like it is David Sharon again. Did he do the same thing? Oh, spun her around. Didn't do the exact same thing. Doesn't hold his brake in the 71. Not sure how that's a caution. Oh, he hits the wall there. I mean, he's off the racing surface, so when the 4-car doesn't go on the racetrack, I'm not sure how that's a caution. That is going to spice it up, though. And that might just gift wrap this race lead to Jim Treat. Oh my, Jason Steptoe still on the racetrack. He might have to pit. He's going to. Is pit road open? It is not. Pit road is closed, and both these cars are down pit road. That is a closed pit. Jim Treat is going to be the race leader, though. This worked out absolutely perfect for Jim Treat. Track position, fresher tires. What luck. Eric Johnson, it worked out for him, too. They both pit the same lap. He's going to wind up, excuse me, P2 tonight. What in the world? And Robert Tester is like, oh my God, you have to be kidding me. You have to be kidding me. That's what Robert's thinking right now. He gets the free pass. Robert Tester does. All these other cars are going to have to wait for the wave around once we do get it here. Ted Gamble Jr. and Jeff Lorway might actually be stuck a lap down. As this is kind of just how the caution flew. They weren't able to get back by the car in time because the caution came out when they were somehow not cycled ahead, which is odd. And looks like maybe Eric Johnson is not our P2 driver. He might be fourth. As Steptoe and Rogerson just went wide, but they entered a closed pit, so interesting. Very interesting stuff going on right now. But Jim Treat, man, what a gift draft race lead he just got tonight. All right, I think this is Jim's race now. I think he's in the position, excuse me, to go out here and win this race. And well, he just has to execute here on the restart. Do his great defense he's done all night. And go get himself a trophy and a victory lane celebration as here comes Jim Treat. I believe it is one to go on the pace car. I think. Maybe not. It is not. Because, oh, maybe it is. Just taking a while to get by him, I guess. There we go. I think that's everyone. Yep, there we go. So 1 lap to go till green. We're going to go green with 31 laps to go in this race. I mean, pretty good timing. I mean, there's going to be a mix of you can go all out or save a little tire. It's up to you as a driver. Ted Gamble Jr., Jeff Lorway are going to be right there. They're not going to be fighting for position. They're 11th and 12th. They're going to be fighting for the free pass, because I'm sure that we will see a yellow before this is all over. Akari Wright and Robert Tester still have a little bit of beef from earlier. That needs settled. A little squashing here mid-race. Take a drink before we get here calling the end of this race. When we get to the green flag, it'll be 169 laps. End of the books tonight. We'll have 31 to go to write them into the history books. The Coca-Cola 300. For the Zero Torque Racing League, 31 laps to go. Green flag out. And a good jump from Dustin Rogerson on the outside. He did not let Jim Treat clear. That's perfect, but Jim Treat has a great drive up through the run, through the gears, clear back to the lead. Jason Steptoe in the podium spot right now. Talking about the struggles tonight for him? Not anymore. The right timely caution, and he's up in the top 5. Whoa, Robert Tester and Eric Johnson about made contact there. I'm seeing them trying to get by Ted Gamble Jr., which is a fast race car. I mean, he might be a lap down, but he is a fast car, and he wants to stay ahead of Jeff Lorway to get the free pass. Jim Treat has taken the race lead. Look at the battle back here, though. Johnson, Steptoe, Rogerson, Tester, Gamble, all under a blanket. Akari Wright's 2-something seconds back right now. Not sure what happened to him. Just maybe not a good restart. A lot of stacking up back there, perhaps. For some of these guys, they do have a few lap tire disadvantage as well, so Jason Steptoe going to pull up in front of the 22 car. He works to the outside of Eric Johnson for fourth, excuse me. Steptoe going to put a little block here in the 22. Is going to get him that dirty air off of exit. Oh, everyone's in the fence down the back straightaway. Everyone's been following each other too much. Everyone's just sending it right now. There is no tire saving. It is full attack mode here at Charlotte. And Chris Gaskell off of pit road. Not sure what happened to the 01 car. Puts Gamble into the top 10. Free pass goes to Gamble, though. Not sure what happened to the 01. Maybe a penalty to be served, as we might have a battle for the lead. Jim Treat, though, has been so good at defending tonight. It's going to be hard to beat this kid. Jim Treat, 26 to go. Laps are winding down here. Rogerson is all over him, though, and if they get side by side, the 23 could get there. Whoa, Steptoe and Robert Tester made contact. Tester was not clear. Well, he made himself clear. Steptoe might not be happy about that if that's what it looked like. Steptoe going to get a big dirty air wash off of corner number 4. And Akari Wright, well, still not really making inroads right now. Robert Tester, though. Eric Johnson's going to pass Steptoe now for 4th. Steptoe's still having a good day now into the top 5. Might get the crossover here, as there goes the 22 into the fence. If you're Dustin Rogerson, you can't let Robert Tester get here. He is too good. Pass Jim Treat now, or do not win with 24 laps to go. It seems not very long, but it is an eternity for these drivers fighting for the race lead. Jim Treat down the back straightaway. Had a good exit off of corner number 2. Rogerson got a little tight. Seemed like he had to get out of the gas. One, 2, and 3 separated by 0.5 of a second. Johnson a little further back, 9/10. Still right in this battle, though. Akari Wright starting to finally make inroads. Has to get by Jeff Lorway, though, the lap car. Justin Rogerson is right there on him, man. He can just sniff that race lead. Wants it so bad. A little contact again to the outside. I think we've had more pancakes on the outside wall tonight I have maybe ever seen. Been a few of them. Rogerson is there. He had a really good corner entrance there. Maybe gave a little bit up on exit, but the 22 I thought was going to take advantage of it. He might just. Tester with a run down the backstretch. I don't think he'll be there entering 3, but he is right there on the 23. A little arrow block on the Robert Tester. Rogerson. You can't let Robert clear for second because I think he might have the car to go up there and pass Jim Treat, even with a little slightly older tires and the worst aero. He's still so dangerous. Rogerson to the top of the racetrack. Excuse me. Throat's so dry. Rogerson didn't get the run he was maybe expecting there. There's still going to be top 3 cars, 0.3 of a second. Rogerson, great 3 and 4 there, but so did Robert Tester. 3 cars under a blanket, under 0.3 now. Rogerson looking outside. Is he there on Jim Treat? Jim Treat cannot let him there. Ooh, contact with the outside wall. Robert Tester almost got into the 23. Tester inside. The 23 throws a block. They disappear. No. Bad timing for a blinkage. Side by side. The 23 and 22. Maybe teammates, maybe friends. But on the track, that's not anything that matters. It is battling for P2 and a shot at a victory in the longest race of the season. The 22 not clear. He somehow gets up there. Crossover move perhaps from the 23. Oh, just a shove entering the corner. Rogerson might get the clean air he wants off of corner number 4. Rogerson's all up the back bumper of Tester as they have let Jim Treat, though, kind of just scurry off. Not what you want to do. Jason Steptoe in 5th. Here is Akari Wright. 2.5 seconds off the race lead. You're going to pass Steptoe here in a few laps, but I don't think you will have time coming to 17 to go to run down Treat, or even really maybe even Tester and Rogerson. Oh, these 3 are up here just having a battle and a half. Putting on a show for us fans. Commentators and fans alike. If you're watching this race in the chat right now, watching us live or post-race, watching this race back, be sure to like, comment, subscribe to the YouTube channel. It helps out a ton. Here at the Zero Torque Racing League, love streaming these guys battling every Friday night at 7 o'clock. Our longest race of the season, going on for 1 hour and 50 minutes as of yet. We will reach the 2-hour mark, I believe, before the end of this race, or damn near close to it. Excuse me, that was not very good. Excuse me. But it has been an exciting race from start to finish. A big wreck on lap 1. Look out some players, some bubble drivers. The playoff bubble seems to be rather set. Unless we see a lot of chaos here at the end. The only really surprise winner we could have is Terry Litwiller in terms of top 10 guys who are on the lead lap. Ted Gamble, lap down. Jim Treat, though, looks like he might just scurry off with 15 to go. He's been close, and Jim's been wanting it. He's been quick this year. This could be his race. Oh, Robert Tester's in the fence hard. Looked hard. Didn't kill his momentum too bad. Looks like the car's okay. A lot of smoke, though. Off of corner number 4. This 23 is all up this 22's rear end. See a battle back here for the 5th position. Akari Wright wants to be in the top 5, and Jason Steptoe is not letting that happen right now. Well, you might not have a choice. The 1 car has a great corner in 1 and 2. Around the outside, side draft down the backstretch, side by side, entering turns 3. Steptoe is going to send it off in there. Try and slide job it. He will. He park it on him. That's pretty aggressive from Jason Steptoe. Hanging on to P5. That's not for the lead. That might get you shipped. Saw the one car give a bump to the 22. Not meaning to. I couldn't imagine trying to. He might just, I mean, that's warranted though. If another block comes or slide job, 50 car and the one car might have some contact here and might have some fireworks. Could cause a yellow that Jim Treat doesn't want to see. 50 car going to slide up again. That might not even be on purpose. He just can't get through the middle of the corner in 3 and 4. Here comes Akari right for P5 at the line. He'll get it. And off of corner number 2, I'm sure he'll clear this 50 car. Maybe into turn 1 almost. What a way for Jason Steptoe to fight tonight, though. Okay. What a struggle of a run for Carson Youngblood. He runs 7th, but he's just been falling further back all race long. 16 cars, I think, maximize the day he can. But not the day he was hoping for. Qualifying 3rd. Wrecking lap 1. A lot of incidents tonight. And the speed's not been there. He would still most likely wrap up the regular season title tonight with this 7th place run. So I think he'll be alright. It's all said and done. But Jim Treat, he's not locked into the playoffs, but he was basically locked in tonight on points. Right now, your race leader. About a 9/10 of a second gap. Craig Ridge Jr. in front of him. 6 laps down. Going to go 7. Blake Hewlett has gone around him. Blake Hewlett's fight from since he wrecked to be a 14th place runner is pretty good. Those few spots could be the difference. As we work turns 3 and now out of 4. Let's see 9 laps to go for Jim Treat. And Jim Treat has had an amazing season so far. He's been close to victory lane a few times. Just hasn't quite gotten it. Remember, I believe Treat almost won the season opener at Daytona. He's had a very good season. Just has not found victory lane yet, has Jim Treat. And now with 8 laps to go, he looks ever so close to doing that. But Robert Tester isn't just letting him walk away. But man, I don't think Robert has much for him. He's pushing really hard and he's just losing time to Jim Treat. The only thing that could maybe hurt him is that horrid caution. If you're the 367 Ford Mustang, the Premier Setup Shop. 7 laps to go here at Charlotte, the Coca-Cola 300 Torque Racing League. So many laps, so much action tonight. And it all comes down to these 7, about to be 6, circuits around this racetrack. Rounding turns 3 and 4. He has put the gap now to Robert Tester. Dustin Rogerson is up the 22's rear end right now. Here's the battle is for P2 at the moment. Rogerson trying to get around him since he was passed earlier in this run. No cautions. Good hard clean racing here with 5 laps to go at Charlotte. Jim Treat, 5 to go. Doesn't want to see the yellow. No, we're talking about a lot, but I mean, it is the real fear, the only fear in my opinion, that he can lose this race at this point. A 1.2 second lead. He either could lose 0.2 of a second for the rest of the lap or the rest of the race. Still have a 0.2 of a second lead, and they have to pass him. The race is wrapped up, and Dustin Rogerson and Robert Tester are just not playing friendly right now enough to do that. Corey Wright having a good run in 5th. Kind of has fallen back as the race is going on. Eric Johnson in 4th. Kind of maximized his day as we hit 4 to go. Dustin Rogerson 3rd. Robert Tester P2. What a great run for him. Really feel like if he finishes 2nd tonight, though, he's going to be disappointed. I think he'll be disappointed with that. But nevertheless, Jim Treat's the man we're going to talk about. He came into this race basically good on points. He doesn't have to worry about that. But he wants more than that. He doesn't want to just make the playoffs and be, as some would put it, a pretender. He wants to be a winner entering the playoffs. And what a better way to enter the playoffs as we hit 3 to go than to be in the longest race, the most grueling race of the season. Beating out championship contenders all season long in the regular season, like Robert Tester, Dustin Rogerson, Carson Youngblood, Akari Wright, who dominated last weekend at Kansas. If you can beat them tonight, you can go beat them for a title. And with 2 laps to go, the only thing separating Jim Treat from victory lane tonight is that coveted caution. Hold your breath, everyone. Jim Treat came into this race 8th in points, solidly locked in the playoffs, but he wants more tonight. He wants to not only be locked in with that checkered flag tonight, he's putting his hat, his ticket into the fight for the title. And through 3 and 4, he'll just have to nurse this baby around one more time. 1 lap to go at Charlotte. No fight for the line, no hard charge finish here in the most grueling race of the season. 9 drivers remain on the lead lap. Battles for second further back. Tester and Rogerson still separated by a 10th, but it's all Jim Treat. The caution fell at the perfect time. He's been impossible. Ryan Newman has to pass tonight, and through 3 and 4, bust open the champagne, because Jim Treat just won the Coca-Cola 300 at Charlotte. What a win for Jim Treat. Taking this moment. That one has to feel good. Over a 2.5 race lead. As they had a photo finish for second. Jim Treat with the victory tonight. A congratulatory bump from Robert Tester with his teammate getting the checkered flag tonight. With these sponsors helping us get through all this. Jim Treat tonight, your winner. Carson Youngblood coming to congratulate. A popular win, no doubt, in the garage tonight. A little door bang from the 16. Jeff Lorway will make the playoffs after a solid, grueling night. But let's not worry about the playoff talk any longer. Let's worry about burning it down time, and let's see Jim Treat's burnout skills. Coca-Cola 300 winner, Jim Treat tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Coming on strong there at the end, gapping the Robert Tester that might have been the best car all night. And he's going to do burnouts in the grass here. You don't care. Jim Treat tonight, your winner. And what a result it was. He's going to do more burnouts down this front straightaway. It is a party tonight. What a win for this young man. I mean, what a drive. It was an amazing drive. Holds off all of his teammates. He's going to park it right here. He's going to keep burning them down. He's not done yet. He's got to get a good burnout here. Start whipping that thing around. Burn them tires off. Blow that engine. And there we are. Your race winner is parked at the start-finish line. Let's go talk to our top 3 finishers tonight. Get them up in the broadcasting booth. Here in a second. Jim Treat, your race winner tonight. Robert Tester second. Dustin Rogerson third. Those will be the drivers we're talking to tonight. Let's get one of them in here. Dustin, you're up here into the piece, not the piece, excuse me. You're up here into the broadcasting booth. You got a copy, brother? How are you tonight, man? You looked to be a solid car tonight. You had the big wreck on lap 1 tonight with your teammate, the 16, getting a little squirrely there. You fought good all night. When you had track position, though, it seemed like you were really fast tonight. Talk me through the night and just how this whole long Coca-Cola 300 went for you guys.
and I couldn't get around whoever got the first stage win, but Eric. And then so I got second in the first stage, and a nice finish in the second, and then it was just, tire management and dirty air is just nasty out here. Jim got to the front and kept cutting me off a little bit on entry, but that's okay.
Can't hear the stream.
Yeah, I just fixed that. I'm sorry.
My bad.
Yeah, you're okay.
Oh,
Yeah, I think for a few seconds there you were cutting out. A little personal issue
that's all right.
with the broadcast. But tonight, yes, the dirty air looked very bad. And it seemed like whoever was out in the lead, either yourself, Jim, said the 45 tonight at one point was out in front for a little while. He was a very fast car tonight. Seemed like clean air was king tonight. You think that's just maybe the new tire model and the new aero package the iRacing brought here with the new car? Or with the car?
Yeah, and the track temp was pretty low too, so it had a lot of grip. So after, about 20 laps, the car would push really tight if you weren't conserving the first 10 laps. So you had to manage your whole run off your first little drive. So and it really showed with guys who did and guys who didn't, because you would catch them. You might not have been able to get around them once you got to them, but you could definitely catch up to them.
Yeah, it seemed like some points with you early in this run with Jim Treat. I mean, you got right to the rear bumper, just could not get there, however. But nonetheless, Dustin, you finished third tonight. You beat Carson tonight. I don't know if you snatched the regular season title from him. I think you might just be a few points short. You beat him in every stage, but he did get a lot of stage points tonight. But a good points day for yourself entering the playoffs. What's the goal here? I know you want to chase the title, but what's the game plan heading into the postseason?
Like winning's nice and everything, but the big thing is to have a clean league, and so people come out and want to do it again. So I mean, it's nice seeing Jim win. I mean, you mentioned that I kind of let him by because he was like a teammate. I wasn't trying to race him really hard, and he hadn't had a win yet, so I was not trying to take anything away from him. Like, I just didn't press the issue on the restart like I should have. But yeah, I don't care too much about winning. I would love to win the championship, but if it doesn't fall in my favor, as long as we have some good, clean, fun racing out here, that's what it's about.
As humble as they come, Dustin, I don't know if I could say this. I mean, winning is important to me. It's tough not to be greedy, and that's a great outlook from yourself to be as humble as you are. But before I let you go tonight, who else would you like to thank before I let you go here?
Oh man, all the 0X teammates, Robbie for doing the league, all the drivers out here for coming out each and every week and trying to be as clean as possible. I mean, there are some incidents, but that's okay. It's going to happen. Who else is on the car? I got so many sponsors. Pinnacle Wraps, Drew Kuhn over there. Go follow him. ePinnacle Wraps, or Facebook.com/ePinnacle Wraps. Taylor Construction Services, Youngblood Racing. Follow them on Facebook as well. And I'm sure I'm missing somebody, but Snowbelt Industries, Tommy Polk, and yeah, man, that's it. And you in the booth, man. Appreciate you every week.
Well, thank you, Dustin. I appreciate that. And your third place finisher, ladies and gentlemen, oh my gosh. Dustin Rogerson, you have a great night, man. Good to see you up here.
Yes, sir. You too, buddy. See ya.
Thank you. Alrighty, folks. Let's get P2 of Robert Tester. I call him Robbie myself, but let's get him up here in the booth. Robert Tester, do you got a copy, my friend?
Yeah, what's up? Sorry about that a second ago.
Oh, you're all right, bud. I get it. That was my fault. But either way, you come home P2 tonight. You got to talk me through this race, man. It was a long one, but it seemed like you and the one early in the race had a little tango. That's kind of my first thing to talk about. That was a story point for me the whole race to focus on, but talk me through kind of what happened there with you and the one car. It looked like he just kind of oversent it and got into an accident there.
I don't even know what he's doing anymore, so I'm just going to leave it at that. I mean, I'm just going to end it there.
Okay, that's probably the smart decision. But nonetheless, you drove a great race tonight, Robbie. I think you led the most laps tonight. You were very fast. What more there at the end could you have done to get by? I mean, you got by Rogerson there at Dustin, but what could you gotten more there at the end to get by Treat?
Man, I just had to burn my tires up early to get just through that field after getting caught doing a green flag pit stops for the second time of the night, third time in 3 weeks, getting caught green flag pit stops with the caution coming out and having to work my way up through the field. So it's not been fun the last 2 weeks with the green flag pit stops.
Yeah, the cautions have not failed your way, Robbie, but the pace is there 100%, and you've looked really good tonight. And it's fun for me to watch you drive through the field, and everyone else at home, I'm sure. I mean, you drive through these fields, and you put on some great shows driving through the field, but, I mean, yeah, you're right. I mean, first pit cycle we have, I'm talking about if this caution comes out, it's only going to hurt the 22, and the caution flies, then then the next final pit stop, I mean, that felt perfectly for Jim. Obviously, he got the track position and the fresher tires there at the end, but I mean, all in all, though, it's still a good night and a good momentum boost for yourself. I mean, this was the longest race of the season, and going into the playoffs, you led the most of it. So talk me through what's your game plan entering the playoffs, as we just talked to Dustin about his.
To be more aggressive. Just try not to let people in my head throughout the race. Got to keep being aggressive. Can't let up.
No, they are. I mean, keep being aggressive is good, and I like that attitude. You want to go out there and win this title, and to do that, you might have to be a little bit more aggressive. And nonetheless, though, a good run for yourself, Robbie. Anything else before I let you go? Sponsors, call-outs? Anyone like you would like to thank before I let you go this evening, bud?
Oh yeah, Zero X, Media Design, Pinnacle Wraps, Drew. Goodness, Youngblood Racing. Goodness, my family. Goodness, everyone that came out, showed up for the race. I know a lot of people didn't have the race that they wanted, but we'll see how the points stack up here in a little bit. But yeah, that's everything. Just want to thank my teammates.
Well, Robbie, you had a great run tonight. You have a good night, man, and yeah, you have a great night, bud.
All right, thank you. You too, man. Thank you.
Thank you. All righty, ladies and gentlemen, we have our winner, Jim Treat, up here. Let's get him into the booth.
I just shit my pants.
Jim Treat, my brother, how does it feel to get that first win of the season? I have to hear from you firsthand. That's got to be my first question.
Feels good, man. Feels good. Finally, man, I love this thing at Charlotte. It feels so comfortable to race and stuff now. So I was worse with it on the old tire model, and I couldn't get anything going. So.
Well, tonight you were going, and you were going to the front. You qualified, I believe, in the top 10, top 5, and you were up there all night. But it seemed whenever you had track position, you were very hard to pass out there, more than usual for anyone else. And you were just a really good car all night, and then the cautions fell perfectly there, and you were able to hold off some hard chargers of the 22 and the 23. And, I mean, this is a perfect night for you. You enter the playoffs with a win and momentum. How does that help you in your push to the title and for your playoff hopes tonight?
Man, I couldn't have picked a better time. I was just waiting, I guess, to win one until I guess when it matters. But yeah, that's a lot of fun there, racing with teammates, and Dustin probably giving me a couple breaks there. My strategy at the end was try to save as much as I can the first 10 laps, and I think he had the kind of same mindset, and that's why I don't know if that's why he held back to go by, or he just kind of giving me a break. But appreciate that from Dustin. Yeah, I mean, it just worked out, and I just figured the last 20, I'm going to push it as hard as I can possibly push it after saving those 10, and it seemed to work out because I happened to pull away. So that works for me, I guess.
It definitely worked for you tonight, man. You grew to I think a finish at the line was a 1.5 second lead, so that's pretty hefty margin there with a restart only 30 laps into the run. So I mean, pretty good there from yourself. But I mean, you were up there all night, and it felt good, I am sure, to burn it down in victory lane and beat your teammates tonight, because those are the guys you want to beat first and foremost. More than anyone, maybe a little bit sometimes. But talk to me.
Yeah, I'm more competitive with each other there. So.
Oh yeah, I mean that drives you to get better, though, without a doubt, beating those teammates. But Jim, do you feel like you have a real shot at this playoffs? Is this like the shot in the arm that you might need in the luck, right? Because you had some good luck tonight instead of some bad luck, that you can go and fight for this title.
Yeah, absolutely. Honestly, getting a little bit of confidence going into that is probably a good thing. I don't even know where we're at next week, but I definitely have to look at the schedule. But yeah, that's just get you going. That's for sure.
Without a doubt, my man.
I'm happy to see. I don't know. I think 0x finished 1, 2, 3 there. So
Indeed
which is
did. 1, 2,
fantastic.
3, and I think 7th, and yeah, but I know 7th because Carson finished 7th. So you guys had a really strong night. It's a pretty good result for
Yeah,
the
we
team,
did.
I would say. But before I let you go, man, any sponsors, call outs before I let you go tonight after your dominant at the end race victory there?
Yeah, first and foremost, the Zero X teammates are always working together, battling each other, making each other better, and stuff like that. Zero X Media and Design on YouTube and Facebook. Give them a follow, like there. Shout out to Taylor Construction, sticking with us for the last 2 years, which is absolutely amazing with our team. Youngblood Racing, Carson Youngblood has partnered with us and has his logo on his real life race cars, which is so cool. Then Pinnacle Wraps, the wrap that's on my car now, and every one of my next gens is from them, and it's absolutely fantastic. I love them guys. Give Drew Kuhn a holler if you definitely want to wrap. And then Premier Racing Setups, use code TREAT15 to get 15% off setups with Premier. And that's it.
Oh, all right, man. You have a great night tonight, man. Your first place finisher, ladies and gentlemen, Jim Treat. You have a good night, man. God bless.
Yep, thank you for the broadcast, bro.
Thank you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, after the longest race of the season, what a finish it was. And then, you have to feel great for Jim Treat there. I mean, he put on a great clinic there at the end to pull away from Tester and Rogerson, who are both 1 and 2 victories apiece this season. They've been very good. Led a lot of laps, probably some of the best cars all night, and he went out there and just beat them. So, without a doubt, a great run for himself. And the whole field tonight was a very fun race to broadcast for. And be sure to go check out W Energy and go get your supply there. And go use my code SQ187 for 10% off your order and to support me. Thank you very much for watching the stream tonight. Be sure to like and subscribe. Go check out all our amazing sponsors as well on this list. Not just W Energy, but everyone else who comes out and supports the channel, supports the Zero Torque Racing League, and puts on shows like this tonight. I mean, it was a great show, and hats off to all the gents out there who put on a great show. And thank you for all you peeps at home who came out and watched such a great show, and I appreciate it. Be sure, like I said, to like and subscribe. You all have a great night. God bless. And yeah.